And welcome, adventurers from this plane and beyond, to Camaraderie and Shenanigans. We are so glad you can join us this evening. We have no major announcements beyond
rude.
Currently, I know now that sounds really bad. I just couldn't get my brain straight.
Nothing.
We have nothing except Lauren isn't here.
Why not?
She's currently enjoying Comic-Con.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Wait, do we tape ahead?
Must be nice.
No.
As
of this recording.
As of this recording, she is
As of
currently
this theoretical recording.
getting ready to enjoy Comic-Con. I'm super jealous. I've never been to a con. Not one.
All con?
Single con.
I haven't been to one either.
Yeah.
I want to go to con.
I'm a hypocrite.
Y'all are insane.
I've been to one.
I want to.
We need to go together.
I always find I'm just like, I don't
Next
have
year.
the time, I don't have the money, like all sorts
Everyone that
of
goes is a
excuses.
nerd.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around them.
No, my kid.
I like
We should go to
sports
Fan
and
Expo
shooting
together in San
hoopty
Francisco.
baskets.
I'm fucking down.
I want to just score all the sports points.
All the sports.
Give me sports points.
I don't understand.
And Shenanigans! There it is.
Well, with that out of the way,
I'll
without further
right to the
ado,
title sequence.
sit back, relax, grab a snack, and get ready for Camaraderie and Shenanigans!
Sports
Boys!
points!
And dragons or something.
That's good.
Write that down, write that down.
Write that down.
I don't write anything down. I write it all down after the session.
That's why we never remember anything.
It's fresh in the head.
Speaking of which, remember things for us.
Previously, on our group's adventure,
Thanks, Dungeon Dad.
we found ourselves wrapped up in the memory of one of our party members, Rangwin, who was recalling potentially events from her past. She found herself in the Feywild, training with someone she had bumped into within present moments, having one of the strangest fights with ice methods ever to be conceived, and one of the greatest love stories ever to be had between Bob and Bertha.
We met at Dread Robin.
A moment of learning was had for Rangwin
Forgot about
to
Dread.
learn how to ask for help. Coming back into this present time, the professor, having heard his name called out through a telekinetic link, or telepathic link, not telekinetic, rushed to find his ally, finding her unconscious in the back alley of True Lake Town. This music's different.
I was like, that's intense, man.
very intense.
It's like, oh gosh, she's dead.
Right? You woke her up. Some things seeming odd or off about her, physically and just emotionally. Having a bit of a heart-to-heart, she was able to reveal parts of her past that she had suddenly remembered. And with a natural 20 on her memory check, remembered who she is the potentially daughter of, the name Queen of Air and Darkness popping up, or the title.
Seems perfectly benign to me.
Whose name is? It's currently alive. Located where?
20 questions over here.
I cast plane shift.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. We'll get to that. We're catching up.
Is that a spell?
Yeah.
Take me with you. What's House's future love interest?
With a bit of sluicing around to see if there was any extra people nearby who had harmed or braided Rangwin to put her in this state, you both decided it was time to call it an evening and head back to the tavern, where drinks were had, catching up was brought about within the group, and Kylus seemed to be put into a state of distance between himself and the party. Teleporting away after a telekinetic shove did not go in Rangwin's favor. Disappearing. Everyone kind of decided to call it an evening, though the professor did sluice around for Nesta for a little while.
Sleuth around.
Hmm?
Sluice around.
Sluice? What'd I say?
Sluice is a word.
It is.
Oh, sleuth is what I meant to say.
I didn't want to correct it.
It says whirl.
I was like, am I missing?
Sleuth around for Nesta.
Should have also been like, what are you talking about?
Not able to find any trails, decided to call it an evening as Kylus blew off a bit of steam and assaulted someone in a tavern.
Not all he blew.
Whoa.
That's not what I heard.
At least it didn't look that way, but
People fight in that tavern, right? I just fought too.
Kyla's heading back to the tavern late in the evening, getting some rest. The group met back up, wondering where Kylas was once again, leaving a note behind and deciding, well, we have to head to the meeting. You guys head on out with Frognan close behind, who decided to hang back a bit, see if he couldn't convince Kylas to join.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Unaware of one of your allies' presence or whereabouts, we find our group heading off towards the Waking Manor. You find yourself in one of the gondolas, heading up the locks, trailing along these carved pathways up into the nicer areas of this town, which I believe, Frognan, this is probably your first time heading up here, I think.
Yeah, and I'm actually like sprinting to catch up with my long strider on.
Mhm.
So I just am relying on her instruction.
I would say by the time by the time they reach the lock to go up to this nicer part of town, you would have joined them by this point.
Woo! So how fast I was? It's these new shoes, guys, that make me go so fast.
I thought that was impressive.
Thanks. New shoes always make me go faster.
No one ever asks me how fast I go in my shoes.
You want to race?
Maybe later.
Okay.
Full scale mail.
You're on.
I feel like that was Wolfgang just like, competition.
Yeah.
I'm it.
So, who's gonna do the talking today?
I'll do the talking.
Yeah,
That's probably smart. I was gonna offer, but
It was kind of a
Rhetorical
predetermined.
question.
Yeah, thank you. That was the word I was looking for. So what are we doing?
we're becoming a
We're
guild.
a guild. That's right.
Mhm.
Why?
So that we can take jobs here in the city.
But can't we already do that?
But I think we get paid more.
It probably gives us some credibility, and we can perhaps spread influence beyond here.
And people can approach us now. They know where to find us.
Where is that they can find us?
In this gondola.
Oh, weren't we supposed to come with an address for our guild?
I think we're going to. I thought we would be talking about
Shit.
setting one up. I thought they had areas to set up in. Keep in mind, I was there.
Keegan, you need a place of residence. You don't know if it's going to be offered for you. There was no confirmation on that, but there wasn't anything that stated you have to supply it, but there was also nothing that stated they supply it for you. There is just somewhere that people can find you. Just has to be established. And it was specifically stated that there are traveling caravans for certain guilds. So it's not like you have to be stationary, but so long as there's something someone could try and find, then you're good.
So maybe this is, meeting one of 3 meetings where we eventually have a residence and the ability to put down some sort of permanent.
I think mostly we're
Base.
just going to get the gist of the process and
Yeah.
see what we need from there.
When Frognan mentioned something about building a tower, didn't you?
Yeah, no, totally. So I had a couple ideas. One, I've been working on this spell. I call it Frognan's Mobile Home.
It's got a certain ring to it.
Yeah, I can make a home. It only lasts for like a day, but it's mobile. I can put it anywhere.
Can it move?
If I cast it in a different place.
So you're more mobile, it's not.
Yep.
Okay, continue.
You may want to rethink your naming structure.
Yeah. It's Mobile Frognan's Home.
Sure. Well, let's move past it.
Great.
What does it do
It's
again?
better.
It can make a home for us. It's kind of like her Twilight tent or whatever
Sparkle
her
Hut.
spell's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except instead of it being like magical safety, it's just like a real ass home.
But you can't do that now.
I can do it now. It only lasts for a day.
But how do we make it permanent? We can make it permanent? Is
If
that a
I
thing?
cast it like hella times in the same spot, it'll become permanent.
Would it look the same every time you cast it? Like if we had our banner and our logo on the building, people
Ooh.
could find it?
I mean, if I want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
not a bad start, but
That's something at least.
Okay, I have
Usually-
one other idea. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, just from my experience, usually those kinds of things take about a year to make permanent.
Oh no, totally. That's pretty
Oh.
right. Yep.
That's
I was
you
gonna
have to
go more like
cast it-
52 weeks, but yeah.
And you have to cast it the same place every day
If
To
I
make-
want it to be that spot.
to make it work the way like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, that's okay. There's no trouble here. We could just fast forward a year.
Fast forward. Okay.
It's a new spell he's working on.
Yeah, like that
Time
spell's
shift.
called metagame.
Unfamiliar with that term.
Yeah, no, I'll teach you all about it on the break.
No, I'm good.
So other idea I had, what if we sent a message to Captain Avery and asked if we made the ship our HQ?
That's actually not a bad idea.
That works. That.
I mean, they said you could have a traveling
Oh, shit,
caravan.
I think
so
that's
to
a
speak.
great idea.
I think that way also we could use that to keep in contact with Cable and.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe all we'd have to do, if in my imagination, that spell that where you send stuff,
Mhm.
if we could find like devices like stones or something.
Oh, you're looking at me.
Ascending stones.
Yeah, that could cast a message. We give one to Captain Avery.
I have a sending set in my pocket too.
Oh, great. And then one to a member here, and he could just send us a message every time we get a gig. And then we go out and we gig live, homie.
I mean, I do have Paula making me some sending scrolls after the big yikes. Perhaps we can convince her into making a set of sending stones.
Yeah, and we could all pitch in. And if we all pitch in, and all we need is one set, the leader of the group, I mean, I was going to say Kylas, but he's not here.
Why would
this is-
Kylas ever be the leader of this group?
I mean, he's got that certain je ne sais quoi, you know?
No.
You just
I
hear
don't know.
Rankwin just.
Certain
Oh.
what?
Sorry, I was speaking this dialect of Undercommon.
It seems like that would be insulting.
I know, I was about to say.
But regardless, we, you know, I mean, I get it. Okay.
No harm done. I mean,
So-
Jesus.
You get
Who's
these.
that?
You get these sending scrolls.
Benares.
Can we turn them into sending stones? Is that a thing?
Well, once it's made into a scroll, I don't think you can.
You can't like
Shift it
transfer it to an item or
otherwise.
something like that.
But if she's able to cast that spell, I'm sure she can enchant stones with that spell. To utilize.
with your base arcana, you are aware it's a bit of a waste of money to make the scroll and then turn the scroll into a stone. However, it would speed up the time of making the stone. So to purchase a sending scroll, if you wanted to make your own, it would speed up the process for you making it yourself.
What he just said. Okay.
Yeah.
More expensive but faster.
Does anyone know how to do that?
Well, like I said, I have Paula making some for me.
Yeah. So we just hire her to make some. It might take a while, but I feel like this guild initiation might take a
Uh-huh.
while too.
Well, at least we have an answer if they ask us where we're setting up.
And honestly,
So do we just say Captain Avery's ship and
For the time being.
tell them the details later?
I think so.
when aren't they leaving today?
I think they're gone already.
Yeah, but she could talk to him.
That's true. You can send a message out to Cable or Avery.
Probably go right.
Well,
to
I'll
Avery.
tell them we have a couple of options.
I think as long as we mention as well that they should probably be getting a cut of whatever we make.
No, surely, but I think we could tell the guild members as well that we'll have the tower while we're here in town, and we'll have the ship while we're out on missions.
That's the answer right there. That's why you're the leader.
Yep.
Great! On we go. You're doing a great job.
We're here,
Oh,
What convenient timing.
isn't it?
You're an excellent gondolier.
Been doing it for years.
What do you think of our plan?
I honestly was trying to zone you out.
Did it work?
I caught a bit.
All right, nice meeting you. Let's go.
Have a good meeting.
Is it customary to tip you?
Sure.
Okay.
Ew, there's tipping culture in this? Gross.
I look to you two.
Didn't we already pay him? What did we pay him?
Yeah, we paid him. him already.
Mm-hmm. You paid him.
Why are you staring at me like that?
They don't want to pay you, I guess. Sorry.
You're the one
That's
who
okay.
mentioned it.
Oh my god, I'll give him
I'm just a kid.
I'll give him a copper piece.
Kind of wish I left.
Is that bad? Would you have nothing? What, is that like a penny?
Yes, actually.
I'm just gonna start walking away. This is why we don't tip in Nostalgia.
You tipped him a penny.
I'm sorry.
Go buy yourself something nice.
Like dirt.
It's one banana. How much can it cost?
$10?
I don't. In the temple, we don't have a lot of money exchange.
No, I get it. It's fine.
I'll give him a silver piece. Is it better?
Oh, this is great.
Okay, great.
You should give him a gold.
Fine, I'll give him a gold piece.
Thank you.
Wait, actually, a platinum.
I'm done.
Kind of looking at him.
Gondolier.
You did pretty well for yourself.
I'll get back.
Let's go.
I've already.
As you are all heading up, you are met by two of the Rippling, which are just the guards within the area, who know roughly why you're here. With a brief explanation, they bring you in.
Wait, are we all ugly right now?
No, I'm fucking done up.
We
You
took about
guys
half an hour to
like
get
got
dressed up.
ready. You spent some time getting ready for this meeting.
My stash
Oh
is all
shit,
pretty.
yeah. All I did was hang out with you guys. I'll cast Disguise Self real quick and just put a
There's
little.
still like flies buzzing around you.
You got,
Yeah.
you got stink lines.
I'll press and vegetate my stink lines away.
Okay.
And then I'll Disguise Self so I'm wearing little tux.
Put your bow tie on.
Okay.
Like a tiny itty bitty tux.
Kind of like I like bend down and like straighten it.
Your hands just go right through it.
But I adjust it so he can straighten.
Looks good.
All right. You all head into this extravagantly designed manor. Beautiful, deep brown, like walnut polished walls within this space. Different potted plants and art decorum all over the place. Curtains hanging down. I mean, it is lavish, extra to the nth degree within this space compared to the rest of this town. Not that this town is on hard times by any means, but this is, you've been spending time in a tavern. This is high society now. You were all led into this arched walkway, 2 staircases going up above it, but you were led underneath this awning area, and 2 large doors are opened up, and in it you see it branches up into this domed ceiling with raised seating all the way across with multiple seats scaling behind it. Major seats are kind of set up in front with chairs that look ornate and designed truly to accentuate an individual's presence. Walking forward, it is this marbled designed floor that almost looks like you're walking on a static image of a lake. And
Very
stepping forward, there is a raised pedestal in the center. Sitting directly across up on that raised area, you see an Eric Cochran gentleman, a bird person, very similar to that of like a hawk, with this kind of dull yellow beak, and you see a bit of like white feathering underneath the brown.
Jonathan?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Jonathan was dark black.
I was trying to remember his name too.
Nesta, you are aware of this individual. This is the mayor of the town, Siahun.
Siahun.
See ya.
See you soon.
Off to the
for a whole
right-hand
2
side
years.
is a human woman, probably in her late 40s or so. Brown hair pulled back into a very well-kept bun. She has a bit of makeup on, wearing the drapes and clothing of a council member. You are also aware of this person. This is Morgan Thalil. She is the seat of infrastructure within the city.
Morgan, who's a what now?
Thalil. Thalil.
You got all
And then off to the left-hand side, you see a half-elven woman, probably in her late 60s or so, as far as you can tell, Professor. just knowing a little bit more about elven culture and aging processes in there.
Is it half elven?
Half elven, yeah. Shorter ears, lithe features, but wearing full-blown plate mail, helmet off to the side. You know this person as Feyrain Lanterus. This is seat of security. Behind all three of these individuals is a singular obscura.
So there's 4 of these folks?
3.
3 council members and an obscura.
Per
Per
person.
person.
There's 3 obscuras, yeah.
What about the...
There's a number of individuals who sit behind them
Impending?
who essentially have like
Yeah.
piles upon piles of different paperwork, and they're just like reviewing notes, kind of chatting to themselves quietly. Scribes and probably people who assist,
Gophers.
guidance, write out speeches for these people to read through. It's your creative staff.
No Ember Digger?
You don't even know who that is. But for the audience at home, no one sees Ember Digger, no.
Would you mind refreshing for me what an obscura is?
An obscura is one of the people who interrogated. They did not ask any of the questions. They are a caster. They usually set up a zone of truth as part of the interrogation process, and they're often used in part of the licensing process to demonstrate power, stuff like that. They are a highly specialized unit of casters, and they have the gear to back it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, you didn't really have to interact with them because you're all from here. And
Yeah.
You did that a long time ago by this rate, so you know the Obscura. They're around. They don't talk. They purely stay pretty still
I don't
within
think
this
you were
space.
here when we dealt with them either.
Sure.
Yeah.
Down on the lower section of the ground, there are a number of the Rippling Guard who stand nearby, armor on, spears at the side, just present, paying attention, listening. You all walk in and approach
They
the
didn't-
podium.
They didn't take our weapons?
No, they did not take any of your equipment. As you do approach this space, Wolfgang, there is someone standing 10 feet away from you all that you cannot see.
You're gonna do so great, but just to make you feel a little extra kick some ass. Enhance ability, charisma.
Okay.
Off to my right or left?
Right.
I'm gonna see that and be like, I don't know if that's a good idea in here.
I'm a licensed spellcaster, and this is a licensed spell.
Actually, it would be Feyrain who kind of... we would appreciate it if you don't cast within this space.
Okay. Cool.
Leave spell up.
It's fine to keep it up, but...
Yeah.
Because sometimes you start making hand gestures and they're just like, cool, don't know what that's about to be.
Counterspell.
Yeah. You got it,
Didn't
dude.
get counterspelled off.
Subtle spell.
You don't have that yet.
Greetings.
Yes, I've been reading.
Sios stands and... Would the leader of this troop please step forward?
I step forward and I kind of throw my cape behind me and I put my hand on my hilt and I bow.
Nestor Claiborne stepping forward as the leader of a guild.
Yes, the temple has decreed it necessary that I assist these travelers.
Very well. 5 of you present.
We have one who is absent.
Well, that works then. Baseline application for becoming a guild is 6 members. I will take you at your word for this.
Thank you. We are the Obsidian Winds.
Very well.
Nope, did I say wrong?
No, it's good. I was just thinking, if you're the leader, maybe we make it like Midnight Winds or something like that. No one here is gonna argue with you.
This would be a wonderful opportunity to stick it to Kylus.
Twilight Winds.
Yeah, the Prismatic Winds.
Woo!
Starlight Winds.
Please stop harassing your leader.
Sorry.
I imagine you discussed
come
this
on, come
beforehand. Let's keep this professional, please.
I beg your forgiveness.
Yeah, that.
I'm gonna just grab Frogman by the collar and just...
Well, I'm in a suit.
Decided name, please.
We're the Obsidian Winds.
The Obsidian Winds. All right.
And I die a little bit inside saying it.
Damn right you do.
Very well. Do you have a place of operation?
Well, we do. Currently in the city, it will be a tower that is cast by our powerful wizard here. And while we are traveling, we have arranged accommodations aboard the ship. Snowbreaker.
Morgan Thalil stands, stepping up with her hand, and I'm terribly sorry, but the casting of property within the city is strictly prohibited. You will need to purchase an actual physical residence. Though, if you want to state this airship as your traveling base, that would be perfectly acceptable.
For the time being, we will state that.
Is that an evocation spell?
I think it's conjuration. Let me look it up.
It is considered conjuration, which, yes, falls within the legal parameters of casting within this city. But we're not about to let anyone build any home anywhere at any time.
Apologies, we were misinformed.
It's quite all right.
Well then,
Morgan
you can
sits down.
please put down the airship as our place of residence, and in the meantime, we will work on securing a more permanent residence here in the city.
If you are looking for work to afford said location, I'm sure there's something that the council can discuss with you all.
That would be wonderful.
Very
Thank
well.
you.
We'll set up some informal conversation after this appointment.
May I propose a question, just for logistics' sakes?
Yes, what is your name for the record?
Professor Filson Orphea.
Professor Filson Orphea. Thank you.
If we purchase, say, a plot of land, would we be able to build this structure on that?
He looks to Morgan. I don't necessarily see what would be wrong with that. Your capabilities should be more than enough to afford something like that.
Okay, we'd just like to have our options open. Thank you very much.
Of course. On to the next point of business. We are waiving your fee as part of your efforts
Thank
out
you.
on the lake.
Much appreciated.
Most gracious, thank you so much.
Of course. You can thank Mookie for that.
We certainly will.
Certain rules and guidelines before you accept this. All guilds will receive summons during times of war, and they must participate in our side.
I'll look at the group.
What other sides are there usually?
What if that directly conflicts with a member's home?
Then they should seriously consider who they align themselves with. You will serve Taunton. During times of war, as a guild you can operate independently and at your own leisure. But you will receive a summons, and you must approach.
I'll raise my little hand. Can I get a brief summary of what kind of wars Taunton's been in?
None for ages.
Sick.
The last time a true war broke out for Taunton to deal with was roughly 4,000 years ago.
Another question. Who were we fighting in that one? Were we the good guys?
Yes.
Or was this more like a Vietnam scenario?
Frognand, I can take you to the library and we can research this later.
Yeah! Oh my god, that's a date.
Our guild would promise allegiance. However, if we were called to war and certain members could not participate, would they be obligated to fight?
No, but they would disband from the guild.
I think that sounds fair. Wolfgang? I'll nod.
Very well. Once you have officially established a location, there should be a notice board placed outside of your facility. That way, requests can be posted within that area for you to review. It must be in a public space, so everyone can look.
We can do
No
that.
secret messages, no hiding extra bits of information. You can choose what stays up and what you take down, of course, but...
Yes, of course.
Very well. Do you have any questions for us, Professor?
In the thoughts of having a notice board, but seeing as how for a time we will be having a mobile base, so to speak, is there a way to... I've heard of this sending center within town.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any sort of way to purchase a slot or someone who maintains direct contact with us? That way we could essentially have our notice board in the call center, so that way if we are out and about and something needs to be done, they can send it out to us.
Roll a persuasion check.
That's pretty cool. That's a good idea.
Nesta, if you want to speak up on my behalf.
I forgot to say, I upcast it so they're both covered.
Too late.
What else would I say?
I don't know, something to give me
You
advantage.
said it amazingly well.
I have a -1.
You have a -1. Oh my god.
Time to roll.
2.
Ah! Inevitability! Too late.
I'm sorry. It must remain open to the public at all cases. No one is allowed to purchase a space specifically reserved for them.
Okay, just a thought.
Of course. We don't allow it to anyone else. We can't be making special exceptions.
Perhaps we can revisit in the future.
Perhaps. It's an interesting thought, and one we haven't thought about before. The sending stations are essentially utilized for the public, but during times of war, they are specifically used for points of communication.
Of course.
I have a question. So, like...
And what is your name?
Oh, Frogman Dirtfist, Your Honor.
Excellent.
Yo, yo.
So, like, let's say
Sideways hat.
that we wanted to show that we were really serious about making a difference in this city, and we weren't going to become complacent like any other guilds that might be around here. What could we do? What would you recommend to do to show that we really care and love about everyone?
Well, you can contribute to the culture and community within this space, and as we are preparing for the Geyser Festival and the Big Yikes competition, assisting with preparations would be very welcomed, especially by Councilwoman Emma Digger, I'm sure.
So what have historical Big Yikeson had as part of their competitions?
They varied from time to time. You intend to compete, I imagine.
Probably, yeah.
We will be splitting into 2 teams.
If you head to the Wishing Well, you can sign up there.
Excellent. Thank you for that information.
They will have all the information as to the events that you'll be taking place in and what the rules and parameters are.
Cool.
Excellent.
Oh, so there's no like big secrets.
No. It's a secret to the public, but those who compete are told beforehand what they will be competing for.
Totally.
That's wonderful. That'll help our selection of teams, I'm sure.
There you are. Anything else we can help with?
We were wondering if there's any council influence on the helping of purchasing a property.
I'm confused. Please elaborate.
Maybe just a point in the right direction, or the...
Oh, empty lots.
Yes.
Yes.
Morgan Thaler can help you with that after this meeting.
Okay.
Do you have any more questions for us?
No. I
You
believe we're all
mentioned
set.
work.
Yes. I think it's something we can discuss once we've officially disbanded and everyone can go about their currently busy schedules.
So if we've had like some cool adventures already, and as a party we wanted to report some findings to you, when would the appropriate time for that be?
You could report them here.
I look to everyone for permission.
What is he gonna say?
Oh, no, yes, I mean, well, so in our, if this is a good time, in our ventures in trying to clear out your Vorpal pin problem, we discovered that there may be more depth to it than we thought.
This might be something better discussed in a kind of looking around, settling my eyes on the person who no one else sees. This might be a thing better discussed with privately.
You suddenly feel them out of your field. All right. He looks to Councilwoman Lentris.
I took that book that has the writing.
I believe it was a singular page.
Or a singular
Yeah.
page that's in Sylvan that
Mm-hmm.
said this, that, and the other
Mhm.
about what the city is sitting on. If you don't mind, I can present this as evidence. It's written in Sylvan, and we can proceed from there.
He looks to one of the Obscura who will lift it, and it will begin to float to
Yeah, I'll just let it.
Sia. And he... Well, unfortunately, I'm incapable of reading this, but I believe Morgan can look through this script. We can dismiss the majority of this meeting. We can have something a little more private in my speaking quarters.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Of course. If that's all, we can move forward.
Yes,
I think so.
believe that's it.
Right. Documents ended. Meeting adjourned. Please all head outside. We will be meeting with you in one moment.
When that person went wherever they went, what direction did they go?
Your right diagonal.
I'm gonna start walking in that direction.
Okay. You walk. Nothing.
Just kind of wandering around the immediate space.
Wolfgang, what's up?
Some individuals are kind of like chatting amongst themselves, and they're like passively looking at you.
This is, and picture this as, I'm gonna make a super dated reference, in the movie Predator, when Billy is looking out into the woods, and they're like, what are you doing? And he's just staring. That's kind of what's going on here.
What's Predator?
That wasn't Wolfgang talking.
It's a circular room within this space. You get to the point where like you're at like the wall that extends upwards.
Wolfgang, the exit is this way.
I know. I'm gonna meet back up and link back up and start heading in that direction with you guys.
Alrighty then. Let's chill for a minute.
You all head out into a bit of a waiting chamber, kind of like some tea or coffee is brought before you, some snacks and crackers placed out.
I can't tell. Is this tea or coffee? It's just really weak coffee, I guess.
Eventually, some of the rippling come out, and they nod to you all and follow us, please. You sense that same thing right behind you, maybe 5 feet away or so.
Keeping pace with us?
Mm-hmm. They're walking a little bit at your lower right diagonal.
Okay. I'm gonna obviously clock it and keep track, but keep moving forward.
You guys are led off to the left-hand side of this manor through hallways and corridors. Not a terribly long jaunt.
The whole way following?
Yep.
Okay.
Punch him.
Is it fucking Kylus?
It's probably Oz.
Well, you can determine the shape, can't you? From your blind sight?
Can I? Is that how that works?
I don't know. Yeah, I would say you can tell this individual is shorter than you, but tall. Probably like, it's hard to tell without actually looking at something. But you're like, if I swung around my chest height, I'd probably hit their face.
Okay, it's
Okay.
not Oz.
Okay, gonna keep walking.
Walking along, you are led to this beautiful polished wooden door with this bright silver handle on it, and is opened. And in it you see Morgan and Sia, who are in this chamber, sitting, chatting about something, and they kind of hand a piece of paper over, and Sia looks it over, and, come in. Close the door behind you. And the rippling close the door.
Once the door's closed, is this person still here?
They walked in here with you, yes.
Okay. How big is this chamber?
It's maybe... It's decently sized. It's maybe like 100 by 200 feet.
Oh, it's way bigger than I expected.
Yeah. It's like a nice study with like a lounge space over to the side.
Look
There's
at me.
rows of books shelved up on the wall,
I
and a
hope it's not
few
you.
like
It's not much-
trophies or awards that are off to the
I
left-hand
was
corner.
taller than that.
You're brought in for seating. He sits down behind his desk, and Morgan sits down in a chair nearby, has a drink. So, a point of discussion.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
And he's going to start, Wolfgang's going to start, like, walking around this space.
I'm just gonna.
You seem to be searching for something, young man.
I am. So, I have spent a lot of time with these people over the past month. Basically, Wolfgang's going to just start babbling while buying time to find where this person is.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
So shower.
Morgan's kind of watching you, like, go through your pattern, and as you're talking, she kind of raises her hand to stop you. Young sir, what you're currently looking for is one of our security. They are invisible for our protection. I don't know how you sense them, but it's one of the Obscura. Don't worry.
Oh.
Do they reveal themselves at this point?
If you can't see your target, you can't cast certain spells.
Okay.
You know, a simple question would have sufficed.
I understand his discretion to feel an invisible presence within a room, and you don't know who it is or what it might be. And it seems you have something of importance to discuss with us, so...
I just didn't want other ears. And to that point, is this room scrap-proof?
It has its wards and protections, yes.
Wonderful. Carry on. And Wolfgang at that point, like, just sits down and immediately kind of relaxes.
So yeah, kind of...
Were you able to decipher what that page?
We read through it. It does bring up a concerning point about some animosity towards the city and a quote-unquote fun that they intend to have at the festival. Seems to be nefarious in nature. We will be upping security as part of that.
It's a hag, we think. We found that the fish were under control of something. We couldn't find what it was under control of, or who was controlling them.
Well,
but
that boat that I was casing out, I did find residue of this murky liquid that was amongst the creatures that we fought, and our ally, I'll point to Rangwin, saw it while she was keeping watch on the boat while we were underwater, and witnessed an individual come up from the depths of the water and into this boat. There was a brief encounter in town with this person, but alas, we lost their trail.
Didn't Rangwin take a vial of this murky goo?
Yes, I believe she did.
I don't want to take it away from her when she's not here. We can retcon that. If she decides she wants to give it during this moment, we can just retcon that the council has it now.
Yeah, go ahead and say it. We all know Rangwin totally would.
She could also at least just show it, maybe not.
Yeah,
give it
absolutely.
over.
She does show it off. If Lauren wants to decide later on, we can.
Put it on loan.
All right.
yeah. So can I ask about secure? I mean, obviously you don't have to tell me like where security is going to be during the festival. I understand how it's a security risk, but like, what reassurance can you give us about security during the festival?
We have some high-profile individuals who will be present to watch the big yikes. There will be plenty of security around them. They will be in an isolated booth, away from people who are actively enjoying the festivals.
High profile?
High profile.
And
Myself.
Dignitaries from other places?
Yes, we actually have someone who's traveled quite a way. A couple people, actually.
Anywhere interesting?
Ibston, actually. Yes.
Ibston?
One of the ladies, yes. Lavonna Garon. And her daughter.
Lavonna is here.
Not presently, she's still on her way.
Going to be here.
Yes. She wants to see the games.
Very cool.
Alex's character's wife in last campaign.
There will also be a scouting agent from the Legends Call who will be looking at potential talent within the games.
Do you know who this is?
I do, yes, but I must keep it to myself.
Cool.
Is there anything you can tell us that might help us better prepare for the games?
You can gather that information at the Wishing Well.
Excellent.
Actually, speaking of, if you are concerned with certain protections, do you all intend to participate in the games?
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe so.
Well, I was going to offer security duty if you would like to, and guard some of these VIP individuals, and there'd be a hefty payment as part of it if you would like, but...
So, like, how much we talking here?
Well, so the festival is over the course of 3 days. If you wanted to be guarding during that duration, we could say 2,500 gold pieces a day.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to talk about that. I think you can take 3 of us, maybe half the group does guard duty.
One half competes, the other does guard duty.
Yeah, why don't you sign us up for 3 of us will be assist with the guarding.
All right. Maybe this is something we can discuss at a further date.
Yes,
Having
once we
everyone
have-
present. You
Once
seem to
we
be
have
missing
our
someone.
absentee.
Yes.
Yeah. Other question I have is, what's up with the discrepancy between those that work for like a gold a day versus those that can get 2,500 gold a day? What's the socioeconomic levels like in this city?
Why are you wondering?
Just because I like to think I'm a smart guy. Not super worldly, but smart.
Mhm.
And it seems to be, I know you didn't make these rules, so, I'm not talking to you in specific on here, but...
No, I did make these rules. I am the mayor of the city.
Cool. I didn't realize you were the mayor. Great. I didn't remember who we were talking to.
Yeah.
Said that one.
Yep.
No one
that's
said
cool.
it. Nesta knew upon entering this space.
Oh.
Well, you.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
What, they don't have like a nameplate or something?
Now that you saw.
Yeah.
So
Big yikes.
you're the
I forgot you were
mayor.
telling her everything.
Yep. Nesta was the only. She's lived in this city for so long. She knows who the council members
And
are.
I'm standing there in the corner just like this.
It's just like, what kind of statistics do you have on the poverty rate here? And like, it feels like a really nice city that I really love the parts that I've seen. But the fact that I can pay just so little for a ride uptown, and then we get offered so much, it just doesn't seem fair.
In this scenario, you may find that your life is potentially in danger. We're compensating you for hazard. A gondolier, maybe not so much.
Okay. Do they have the same voting rights as the rest of us?
Yes. We are we are election based. You are correct.
Cool.
There was like a moment there where I was like, we should stop him. And I was like, no, I like what he's saying. Hey, let's talk more about this.
Something you two are very aware
Revolution!
of. The continent of Faldorn is a democracy. The president of Taunton is elected. Like
So they
And
say.
We start a
Is he
revolution
now?
every time.
actually the only city that isn't based off of voting rights is Necrosia. It is nobility based.
That is true.
It is noble family.
That's your tone?
Yes.
Who's the dictator now?
Not me.
Do you get a lot of people from other parts
I
of the
know
world
who is,
around
though.
here?
Not a ton. Within our location, we're not exactly a major port city. No, not terribly.
Okay.
But we are a beautiful town, and some people come here for an escape or vacation time. Or
If there are people from other parts of the world here that brought like different magics and things like that, are there places that you can? What am I trying to ask here? I don't want to speak for the group, but there's a lot of different things that we're actively seeking to accomplish that are not part of day-to-day civilization. Are there hubs of
you're trying to gather information.
yeah, transport, trade, places that you can meet those that are worldly as well?
Davenport, but it's very far away from here. Far off to the west.
It's a different city.
Different city entirely. Way past Taunton.
Wolfgang that looks at you and goes, just kind of gives you a head nod.
Yes.
Davenport would definitely be a place.
Okay.
We do, as part of establishing your guild, once the paperwork has gone through and everything is official, you do have special access to certain information.
Oh,
It will have to be paid for. It is a price that the guild must cover, but you will be allotted access to reserved information.
the restricted.
And how long does it normally take for the guild paperwork to go through?
It may take a little while. We will try to rush it, especially since some of you do intend to participate in the big yikes, and that is a moment to kind of show yourself off, a bit of marketing. for
promote,
yourself.
so to speak.
Yes, absolutely. So we will rush it a bit, but it may take 2 to 3 days or so.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
It's great.
Were there any other questions you were having? I do have a couple other job offers if you're interested.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
We have a couple. It might be after the festival, but there are some transporting tasks that you could undertake.
Mhm.
You seem to have access to an airship, so you could bring them and your crew on as part of this mission.
I think we'd be able to do that.
All right. I'll put that down. What else do we have? We do have a potential exploration mission. No one has ever returned from the bottom of this lake. People have tried exploring it in the past, and
We did.
Oh, I've been down there.
the very bottom.
That's where we hit and found our central issue of the megalodon and octopus, and found a
Pull out a tooth.
Mm-hmm.
You could ask Henla.
yes,
Or not
we-
Henla,
Paola.
Paola.
Paola. We recovered some goods for her. They were
Oh.
sequestered in the bottom of
All right.
the water.
That's very impressive. There would be more exploration to be had. Legend has it that this crater was created by a piece of the moon that fell from the sky and crashed down here.
Oh.
And the lake was formed within that space. So if we are able to find potentially where that piece of rock is from, or if it is indeed actually down there, there is that exploration happening. But not many people take up this mission.
I volunteer as tribute.
I had a feeling you would.
Yes, I would love the chance to do more research into things of a mystical nature in this area.
This task would pay very well as well,
Well, I think we all have an investment in completing that task.
right? Again, most of these won't be until after the festival.
We need to get your mentor cloak back.
Oh, I do. Good idea. We'll look into that. Thank you.
Of course. Did you have any more questions?
I don't believe so.
All right.
We saw. Was I there? I don't know if I was there. The goat man?
You were.
Huh?
Mhm.
You were.
I was.
Everyone was present.
We saw somebody arrive, let's say yesterday or the day before,
Mm-hmm.
wearing a goat mask.
Yes, that is the Legends Call individual. Yes, their identity must be a secret. There'll be a reveal eventually. Yes.
Good to know.
Cool.
Good man is from Legends Call.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
How does
you.
one become an Obscura?
Oh, it's usually a task of graduation with Trimsworth Magical Academy. There is essentially a deal that has been struck between the capital city Taunton and Trimsworth. It is a career path for aspiring wizards.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But to use divination magic like they do, or not divination, but divine magic, without actually worshipping anyone, is something that they've specifically learned from that school.
Interesting.
Obscura can't talk.
Oh, they can.
Just something to keep in mind.
Or is that more of a vow of silence?
Well,
The establishment of Obscura is not known to me, but they
potato,
do.
potato.
They do act as bodyguards for us. They're very powerful wizards.
Oh, yes, we've seen. You're not here.
Well, if that's all,
Thank you very much.
we
Yes,
do
I
have
know
a
we are.
full
Yes,
schedule.
yes.
And,
Yes, I believe
we
we,
would
have
like to
some
take
things
care of
to
things.
take care of as well.
Excellent.
Is tipping customary here?
Oh my god, no. Pull them away.
Just tipping not familiar.
Thank you very much. We'll like bow.
All right. As you're backing out, the door is opened up. The individual who is invisible does continue walking near you all, and you are brought out.
Well, that went relatively all right.
This is a bit of a walk and talk. They are escorting you to the entrance.
Yes, it's
Sounds-
off to a good start. We need to talk to Avery and Cable immediately.
I will send them a message.
Yeah, that's
Do it while you're still super charismatic.
On the spot.
All right. She's Lunaris.
As
Damn.
you are heading outside of this space, you were told, just as a reminder,
Yes,
not to cast
yeah,
magic.
I will wait
Yes.
to ask
Okay. I just, in case anyone forgot.
Thank you.
Fire.
Okay.
Is
I
invisible
will
homie still
I
behind
think
me?
sending is evocation.
Yes. He's not directly behind you. He's just within that 10-foot radius that you have.
I'll do it at home. We'll do it at the house.
And that's
wait.
the only reason it's green is because you're like,
stupid!
dude, there's a person right there,
I
and
know.
you know, there's no visual on them, so it's striking odd.
What kind of
I'll wait till the
bullshit
house. I'll
is
wait till the
that?
house.
As you are all
You're selecting a
brought out,
target.
you do see someone heading up some of the grander section of stairs. Large cloak on, gilded edges, and goat horns from your vantage point is heading upstairs.
The dude.
Look out for us next week.
Frogdent, can you show some control?
They slowly turn.
No, pretend we didn't see him. Pretend we weren't talking to him.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I
he's doing
definitely
the finger
stand there and
guns.
stare at them.
Don't we want their attention?
No,
Pretty sure we
you're
do.
not here.
And the individual in the goat mask gives a low bow.
Oh, I bow back.
Is it directed at anybody in particular?
I'll bow back.
Inside check.
Go ahead.
Frogman's also a prince.
Tactical assessment.
Kinda, actually.
Really?
His dad's the
Not
chief.
royalty necessarily.
Okay.
but
His dad's
the
the
son
chief.
of the
He's
leader.
the Pocahontas of this tribe.
That's
God,
amazing.
that feels
Just
dirty
around
20.
the riverbed.
dirty 20.
I'm looking for, is there a sense of familiarity in that bow?
Yes.
How tall is this
Ooh.
individual?
Probably.
3.5 feet.
no, definitely taller.
Father.
They're probably standing around. They're close to 6 feet. They're not breaking it, but they're close.
And he's looking at him?
Yeah. And they turn around and continue walking. It's at this point that the guards are kind of moving you along at this point.
Mhm.
Can I roll an investigation check just to check out their like clothes really quick in more detail?
More perception check. Investigation is like getting your hands on it.
Okay,
Or like drawing conclusions from 1 to 1 equal 2.
I thought you were trying to talk to this guy.
I know you're trying to tactically assess this.
well,
But if you're just looking at clothing, that's a perception check.
I probably want that.
Okay.
But my next question is, how tall was Lord Gad? Oh wait, I
He
don't
was
know.
way fucking tall.
Yeah, he
Is-
was
is
like over
he
7
super
feet.
tall?
Yeah.
He was like over
More-
7
yeah,
feet.
that's
way
what I
taller than
thought.
me.
He was
Morgesh was
litty
nearing like
as
7.
fuck.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
very like Slender Man-esque.
Yeah.
This person has like definition to them. They seem like a regularly proportioned humanoid.
Are we out of the area that they said not to send any?
You are led outside. There's a large garden area with like topiary and all that kind of stuff, and a gated station where you are led outside the gate, and your same gondolier has been waiting there, just snacking on something.
So now that we're out, I'll cast message to the goat guy.
It's only a range of
You're further than 120 feet.
From where we just spoke to him.
Yeah, it is a walk. It's a full long garden.
Oh, so I
area.
shouted like across a courtyard or something like that.
I think up a staircase.
No, it sounds to me like
Yeah,
you said something and then we kept going.
where you saw him,
Mhm.
you guys were inside the mansion. He was heading up some stairs.
Oh, we were still
and then
in
you
at
went
that point.
outside through this garden space outside the
You
gate.
got it. dude.
Yeah, you guys probably went close to 400 feet away by this point.
Gotcha.
Is that Nestic acid? God.
Space is weird.
There's just dumb that spell is illegal apparently, but they have a whole sending station.
Well, they're just trying to not have you cast spells inside the mansion where you could theoretically
No,
drop a
it's-
fucking fireball on
They're
somebody's
controlling
face.
the flow of information. That's what they're doing.
They're controlling the flow of information and money.
Sending is an evocation spell.
In setting, I've changed it to divination.
Thank you.
Yes.
Because
'Cause
that
I-
makes more sense.
I mean, I get what they were going for. It's the transference of like energy or power, and that was like the idea behind evocation. But I'm like, it's
it's
information
transference
sharing.
of dumbness, if you ask
Yeah,
me.
I prefer it as divination, so I've changed it to divination.
Well, wizards can't get it then?
Yeah.
Why would wizards not
Any
I was thinking
list?
divine.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
divine magic.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
I was like,
divination school.
Wizards get scrying and
I'm just thinking full of divine spells. I'm like, it's all cleric.
You find
My character's
yourselves outside with your gondolier.
Give him gold.
Where are you guys going?
No, we've given him
Will
enough
you
money.
stop it?
Well, I have a lot of preparation I have to do for tonight, so I'm going to head back to the temple.
I'm going to join you.
Of course, you're welcome.
When is a good time for us to meet at the temple for this?
What time is it starting?
It'd be
Asking
during the
the
evening.
gondolier?
It'd be during the evening. At this, with it being summer and whatnot, you're not looking at it getting really dark until like 8:30 at night.
But when is that when the funeral's happening?
You haven't gotten an official time. You do know it's happening at night because it's happening underneath the full moon. The vigil is being treated as a section to part of the blessing of Lunaris for this evening.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I would relay the information to them that it's probably not going to happen until the moon is up in the sky. So, you know.
You're looking at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Honestly, it'll probably start around 10.
I'll aim to be present at the temple by sunset.
Sure.
Same.
I would recommend bringing your own jars of honey, if possible. If you're going to join the actual ceremony. If you just come to the funeral, don't worry about the honey.
You imagine with the station of things, it will be the funeral. Those who wish to leave can, and then there will be an actual
Ritual.
yes.
No pressure to participate at all. But I appreciate you coming to pay your respects to Orwell.
Of course. He was a good man. He was there with us through a very trying time.
Is there anything I can help with before I leave?
No, by all means, Nesta, take care of the things that you need to do. Don't worry about us.
So speaking of that, are there any more group things for today, or are we all just kind of gonna go our own way and meet up tonight?
I suppose that's the plan.
Yeah. I'll head off to go help Paula for the rest of the day.
Okay.
So we'll head to the temple.
I think Ringwood will probably go with you.
Cool.
Professor.
John Travolta.
Come with me. Paula needs our help. Let's go.
I think you're more inclined than I am on that. I'm going to...
There is still signing up for the big yikes as well.
I'll go look into information on that. And I know we have some time. I'll relay it to everyone later tonight.
Great.
All right. As the party disperses, the Obsidian Winds disperses, heading off to their different locations and goals for the day. We will pan flying over to...
Oh, great. Now all of our transition scenes are just black winds. Just
Make it so.
coming to Kylus. What are you up to?
What
So
are
what's
you
the
up to?
transition that we need you to do?
Currently, I would say I'm in the pool with Atrodane.
Okay.
This checks out so far.
Checks out. It's so good.
Try
so
that
good, bro.
sour thing. Can you hand it?
It's pretty slow right now in the tavern. They're not asking you for a performance or anything, but you've earned some special leniencies within this space, and she's just kind of floating on her back, just enjoying kind of your company.
Okay. He'll kind of like swim up next to her Well, I know we have... yeah, gorgeous.
There we go.
Yes, I know I am.
Yes, you are. But you do know that we have the tryout here pretty soon.
I believe in, you said
2 days.
2.5 probably. It's still early.
Right around there.
Should we get training, practicing?
I did have some ideas about that, but I also had another idea.
Go on.
What if you and I skipped that altogether? We could head for the Scattered Isles and see about granting that wish of yours.
That's a bold statement.
Could be fun.
And just lift up my whole life from here.
Why not? Travel where the wind takes you.
I could think of a number of reasons as to why not. But it does
would-
sound thrilling.
What would those reasons be?
Money.
Why you have money? Is that the only reason?
Safety, security. I suppose I'm locked into habit.
I
The
can
idea of
provide that as
change
well.
is terrifying.
That's so fun though. Just something to think about.
I'll ruminate.
But in the meantime, did you have any ideas about your performance?
Yes, I have, well, you know about the bangles that I would be using. I have my own personal performance, but I've never thought of incorporating others into it. You swim very well, you play very well.
Well,
What else do you have?
I have some ideas. And back home, there was this troupe that would travel around the four courts. And they were quite gifted performers. And we could steal an act or two,
All right.
or at least use some of their ideas.
With the amount of water that I can conjure and control, you could swim in it as I move it about. There could be some acrobatics in there. Get you high enough into the sky if you can swim out of one into another, or I could catch you somehow.
Absolutely. It'll take some practice, but I think we can get something together.
Definitely, we might need to head down to True Lake and practice actually by the water. There's no way we can do it in this tank. The ceiling's too high. Or too low, actually.
I'd love that. And Oz, despite his size, is actually quite capable musician. So he could play some music to accompany us. He's not a musician.
No, he's not. And you hear in your head just...
Psychically, I'll be like, pressure's on.
He doesn't say anything.
Just want to pull out a little triangle and just ting, ting.
We could also hire some musicians and other performers, if need be.
Well, you are my producer, so...
Trying. If we do end up staying here, I would like you to be a contact and listen for some secrets and the goings abouts of the city.
True.
Or, you know, we could always travel to the Scattered Isle together.
It is very tempting. But I have heard there's someone from the Scattered Isles. Someone who's supposed to be at the Big Yikes, and I don't know if I can perform on that stage. That might be my ticket in.
I could wow the city. It's supposed to be good for your reputation and mine.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's head down to the lake. We don't want to disappoint.
Sure. I'm going on my lunch break, I guess. And she swims over to the ladder,
Okay.
climbing out.
He'll actually climb out with her, but then pick her up and take off flying.
Oh.
Got
Okay.
He wants a sex
something.
episode.
Okay.
Already had that. Okay, another one.
Everyone gets one. Yeah, she puts her arms around you and you fly up into the sky. A lot of people nearby are, as you're... Would you like to describe what your flight looks like.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I'll wait till one of the party members sees it.
Sure. Flying off.
It's hard to see when you're in the scattered isles, but
It's amazing.
It's
You
so
head down
cool.
to True Lake Town,
Yes.
where a bit of training happens. Is there anything in particular you wanted to do as part of that, or?
I just wanted to practice, like, her controlling water with me in it, and then her controlling water with herself in it.
Okay.
And seeing if I can play music while she's doing that.
We might let that be a bit of a downtime
Yeah,
activity as
exactly.
well,
It's
so we
totally
can
fine.
go into that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing that all day unless something else happens?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I think we will go to the professor, who you were heading
Find
to
out about the big yikes.
the Wishing Well, yes.
Yes.
The Wishing Well is close by to the Averilo Library. It's a pretty modest building located down in True Lake Town. As you walk in, there's quite a hubbub going around. People are passing information and documents back and forth to each other. It's a printing press, essentially, so it's all about information here. And as you walk in, no one pays you any mind.
That's how you get everyone's
you
attention.
will listen to me.
I said good day.
Charm face step.
Things are moving around. Someone shouts across the room. It is loud in here.
I look around to see if there's anything that may resemble leading towards something for the big yikes.
Like a document or something.
Document, sign,
Okay,
banner.
roll a perception check.
It's like a blinking sign. It's like, big yikes, information below.
Sign up,
This
sign up,
way.
sign up.
How did I miss that?
16.
16. Yeah, you do see someone who... You don't see any
that.
signage or anything, but you see a human man who's handing off information, and you can see their mouth just... They reference the big yikes as, like, information that needs to be, sent somewhere.
Yeah, okay. I'll head in that direction.
Hi, how can I help you?
Greetings. Looking for information on the big yikes.
Ah, contestant, eh?
Yes.
Looking to sign up?
Yes.
All right. What's your name?
Professor Filson Orphea.
Good to meet you. I'm JJ Applegate.
Eynon.
I'll let you sign that. I'll let you write that down.
I'm gonna kill him.
Please do. I hate being here. I feel seen.
I hate myself for this.
Yeah, I can't believe I chose this.
Greetings, Mr. Applegate.
Mm-hmm. You're looking to sign up. Are you looking for information? Who's your party? Who's coming with you? You need at least 3
Oh my
competitors.
god. Give me a picture of Spider-Man.
Where's my picture of Spider-Man?
That's exactly what's going on.
Does he have a mustache?
I am intending on
Sure.
signing up and needing...
Newsies cap.
Just need to get more information. We are looking on how... looking at who to best put together for a solid team.
Of course. Looking for day 1 events. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Everything that's going on.
The whole gambit.
All right, we can talk about that for certain. Day 1, you got the Buoyant Brawl. Nice little competition of scrapping and roughhousing. You're allowed to bring some magical items with you, but one of the rules is no flight, no levitation.
Rude.
You get knocked out of the ring, you're out. Well, into the water.
So it's not so much a matter of beating the other person unconscious, but maintaining ground.
Well, you can.
Fair
Both
enough.
are optional. No killing, though.
Of course.
Day 2, you got the speed sailing. Got a couple obstacle courses that you'll all be sailing through, and whoever comes out with the best time gets extra points.
Fun.
Day 3, you got the romping race. Bit of an obstacle course.
Another obstacle course?
Well, the second obstacle course you're sailing through. This one, you're going to be on foot. No flight, no levitation, of course.
Why? So personal.
I feel attacked.
Additionally, in the speed sailing rules, you're allowed to target their ship with any spells or attacks that we'd like to do, but no harassing the actual sailors themselves.
So we can't, like, sail over, board their ship, and raid their equipment.
Eldritch blast the hole.
Yes, you can do that. But no punching them in the face.
From somewhere far away, your wolf can go, boo!
You could hop over to the boat and cut some of the ropes if you'd like to. Just don't hit them. You can push, you can shove, you can wrestle,
So, like,
grapple them to
if
the ground.
somebody boards our ship, we can try and shove them off.
Of course.
But
you can't just be like, well, can't do shit about this.
Makes enough sense.
Of course.
And it's those 3 events.
Those are the 3, yep.
All right, and then assuming there's some sort of point scale added up to this that resolves in the winner and receiving the...
Sigil of protection.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
is what I heard it was. Someone, I've only heard it in name. What is it exactly?
I personally don't know. I believe Paula over at Henley's Heritage is actually going to be creating it.
Right.
That's all hearsay, though. You didn't hear here.
Of course.
See?
I, of course, I'm going to be announcing the whole festival. You'll be hearing me all day long.
You just committed to that yourself. How much do you hate yourself right
I
now?
don't know. I'm kind of liking him.
Oh my god.
Love this character. This guy's hilarious.
Do
JJ.
Applegate.
do
Applegate
all?
meats.
If I were to sign up, do all party members need to be present to sign up, or can I speak for them?
Oh, you can speak for them. Teams of 3.
Teams of 3.
Mm-hmm.
And deadline. We have a few days. Yes.
Yes, it's going to cut on the 19th.
Say that again.
It'll cut on the 19th.
On the 19th.
Mhm.
Today is.
Today's the 15th.
Okay. I got 4 days.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's
Right.
up until the day before. Yeah.
All right. I have the information that I need. I will discuss with my group post haste.
Excellent.
So once we register this team of 3, this is the team of 3 that's competing in all 3 of these events.
Indeed. Yep.
We can't mix and match based on.
Mm-mm. Those 3 contestants, they're in it. If you lose a limb, sorry, pal. I don't know what you do outside of here. You look like the adventuring type. You've got a big old lance on your back.
That's what gave it away.
Why are you just letting this in?
It's a weird anatomy.
Actually, I have a lance, a javelin, a
Yeah.
scimitar, a flail, and a short sword.
Yeah.
Solid.
Decked out.
Seems like one of them adventuring types.
And something of the sorts lately.
Hmm.
Thank you for the information. Good day.
Have a good day.
You're over encumbered. You can't fast travel.
And get me those pictures. All right. Where are you off to?
Come on. You know where you're going.
I mean, I'm right there.
Yeah, you know. We all know where you're
I'm
going.
going to the library.
Let's be realistic here.
As you're stepping
Like,
out and you're
say
kind of
it,
heading
say
off
it.
into that area, you
Say
do
it.
see a
You wanna
large
go
group
with
of
that.
people are starting to gather closer towards the docks.
I'm actually going to go look at that.
Okay. Yeah. Heading out that way, navigating through a bit of a crowd, you see this like glob of water coming up over everyone's head and swimming very gracefully inside of it is a shirtless Kylus. Who mermaids the fuck out of it into another globule, and it kind of spins around. It's
Does
this.
he or does he not make the dolphin noise?
Ah, shit! Hold on.
As long as we're in this town, you have to have that open.
It's coming, it's coming. Next
I really need that
next
sound
reference,
deck.
Next reference.
He just flies backwards on his back, like one hand behind it, and blows a kiss out to the crowd.
One of the girls faints. And so does a boy.
Man, I'm really tempted to throw my javelin of lightning into the water.
There it is. You recognize the individual who's down on the ground who's doing this wonderfully elaborate dance, twirling forms, jumping through the air, and these bracers that are on her that are these bright glowing silver that extend from her wrists all the way almost up to her elbows. And with like each swing of her arm, one of the globules moves in that direction, and she seems to be like Cirque du Soleil, kind of catapulting him into the sky, and then catching him with another one.
I'll kind of move my way to the front and just wait.
Out of my way.
A nice little performance is had. Kylus, go ahead and make me a performance check.
24.
You compensate for her 14. She seems nervous, and you can tell. And there's like a moment where she almost misses you completely, or she misjudges the catch, and you just kind of boosts of wind and kind of orientate yourself, landing into one of the globs of water and moving about. There's a nice performance that happens, and then a splash of water, a rainbow appears. Yes! A rainbow appears before you land down, and there is a final pose struck. Applause are had, hoots and hollers and cheers. Between the two of you, you both get about 9 gold.
Okay.
Each?
Yeah.
Kylus will make like a little announcement, like, be sure to tell your council members for us to perform in the big yikes.
The crowd
send letters.
His actual.
Huh?
Which voice did he use?
No, not that one.
Not
that was
one
an Irish. This was just Keegan saying what happens on camera.
The crowd begins to disperse, and there's murmurs and mutters, and people seem genuinely excited about it.
As like the applause is dying down, the professor is standing still in front of them, just going.
Slower clap.
Love a slow clap.
So good.
Phil?
So good.
After Dane kind of and leaps into the water.
Shit, come on.
Right?
just into the sunset. Just.
Can I help you?
You were missed at the meeting today.
Was I?
Well, I will say Frognan seemed rather disturbed about your absence.
It's nice of him.
Yes, it is. But listen, I wasn't present when you made this deal and got Nesta upset with you. So realistically, I cannot pass judgment on an event that I wasn't present for. But what the fuck?
Phil, I already spoke to Wolfgang and Frognan about this. I intend to talk to her about it.
So you just ghost us and don't participate in something that we've established as a group that we were going to do. She still used the name that you proposed, by the way. I want you to know that. She had every opportunity to change it for herself.
She could have. I wouldn't have been upset about it. Phil, we're all adults here. We broke out of prison together. That's great. But there's no obligations to keep us together.
Okay, so then, are you going to participate in this guild? Because if you don't, quite frankly, we don't have a guild and you'll be letting down everyone else around you. It's a minimum requirement of 6 people.
If it does come to that, you can say I'm a part of it.
If it does. Or if it benefits you.
If it benefits me.
Yes.
I think it'd be benefiting all of you quite a bit.
But you only seem interested if it has some benefit to you. Like most things. This little act thing, what's in it for you?
I'd be performing for the city and make us some money.
Make us or you money?
Professor, I've shared all the gold I've had. All the gold I've received. I can't say the same about you, though. Bought yourself a nice cloak, though, didn't you?
And use that to help further advance. Yes, that's rather true. Excuse me for trying to do that in the middle of a prison society that probably would have gotten us jumped if I showed money off around.
Had a lot of time. Even some privacy in Cable's
you-
house.
Wait, what?
Wait, was he there for that?
Eventually, the whole group was at the
Yeah, on Cable's.
the down low Cable's hideaway. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I didn't have it by then.
I feel like I've actually done quite a bit for this group. And I feel like I'm getting treated like shit. From you especially.
Well, excuse me that I can at least admit when a fault is brought up to me. Yes, you're correct. I had that. I had an opportunity. Granted, there was quite a lot going on with Wolfgang finding out about Vicky in that moment. Honestly, Voxstrom was a blur at this point. I apologize for not sharing that with everyone. But at least I can admit a fault and apologize.
What fault should I be admitting exactly?
Well, apparently you have quite some fault with Nesta.
Which I plan to talk to her about.
Yes, you plan to.
Yeah.
You also planned to come with us to this meeting, and that didn't happen, so will this plan come through?
I think Rangwin said it just fine last night. You don't need me.
I will admit that Rangwin has only seen the unfortunate decisions or consequences, or she's just misunderstood something that you have put forth and has chosen to just run with it.
Look, I really don't care, but I did try to clear the air with you. I sat down, asked you what your problem was with me, answered all your questions, and after that, nothing changed.
You danced around most of them still.
I don't believe I did.
Kylus, you're right. I have no obligation here. And neither do you. I was hoping that going through severe trauma and life or death situations would have built some sort of camaraderie and brotherhood within all 6 of us.
It has. I've literally been there every single time you've needed me. Even in situations I didn't want to be involved in.
So is everyone else.
Right, so why am I being treated like shit?
Why are you making deals for us behind our backs?
Because it could benefit us greatly.
Or it could hinder us greatly. That is a major decision made with no consultation. You are involving many other people in something that we did not agree to.
If the group didn't want to do it as a whole, I would have happily canceled it, taken whatever shame I needed to.
But we don't know that because you don't tell us.
And instead of talking to me about it, you held a blade to my throat.
I was not aware of any blade being held to a throat.
Well,
Again,
that's what
I
happened.
wasn't there.
I know, so why are you talking to me about it?
You know what, Kylus? Fine. Fine. I will leave you alone. I will no longer ask you any more questions. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what your deal is. You can remain an enigma to me, and that is fine. You can go run away and do your performance. You cannot be a part of this guild. I do not care. The bare minimum that I will ask of you, and then I will never ask of you anything again. Apologize to Nesta. And I understand that maybe her reaction, from what I have heard from you, was not savory, but you still did something that you need to apologize for. And perhaps, in turn, if you do that, Nesta will apologize for her actions. And just to make sure that we are covered, here is 300 gold. Good day, sir. And I will drop 300 gold in front of you and walk away.
Right.
Damn.
I don't say anything.
As we move from this
Did you pick up the
scene.
gold?
Yes.
Obviously.
You better.
Dude, I was so waiting for you to just like kick it into the water.
That's so good.
I would hold a blade to your throat.
Yeah.
Not Frogman, Zach.
Zach's like, I need the money.
We will head off to flying off over towards the Temple of the Prismatic Knight as I believe you
Three.
were going to Paula.
Paula.
3 of our team
His magic mommy.
is
Oh,
heading off to the temple.
They're both.
What are we here to accomplish?
I just wanted to help prepare for tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to be checking on Victoria and helping her.
As you
Tempted to throw
all
your
enter
name
the
in.
space, you see Rayla kind of ushering some people about, gathering different supplies and materials, a lot of honey. And she sees you and, oh, Nesta, Wolfgang, and Ranguin, welcome. I imagine you're here for preparations.
We are, yes.
Okay.
He's going to check on Victoria.
Of course, she's actually awake, if you would like to go see her.
And he walks immediately past her to
And
where
he goes. Please come with me.
Excellent. And it feels like, I feel like it's like back to normal. You know, like this is what I do. This is like,
you're home.
yeah.
No more weird glances from everyone.
Yeah. Preparations begin, and you are ushered off as you open up the door, and the privacy curtain has been moved off to the side, and she is sitting there just kind of examining her arm. A lot of like the swelling that was originally around like her shoulder, where this arm was attached, has dissipated. Any swelling that was around like the right side of her eye is completely gone. She has made quite the recovery. There is still massive bandaging across her chest and midsection, and there's a bit of like dried blood that needs to be incrementally swapped out. But she immediately sees you, and just this brightness begins to fill her
I'm kind of
face.
doing one of these. How you doing?
She kind of reaches out.
I walk over.
Yeah, she brings you in and hugs you.
Oh, yeah.
As you're being held to her, from her chest against yours, you can feel this like hum and vibration that's coming across. God damn you. God damn you.
Sorry, I went there
The
too.
benefits just keep increasing.
God damn
I just went there too. It's fine.
Jesus Christ.
Why
Here
did
I thought I made something cool.
Oh, you did.
She pulls back.
Kind of like, I mean, you look great.
I feel incredible. It's a very different sensation. I had grown very accustomed to the pain of what I was left with physically. To not feel it anymore is liberating.
I can imagine.
Also, she kind of twists and pulls, and a blade comes out, and the blade almost seems to be vibrating. There's some extra enchantments that seem to
That's
be.
not a benefit.
She twists and it swaps back to her original hand.
How's the exchange? Is it smooth?
Extremely.
Man, that cable.
He's incredible. I mean, I always knew, but to actually have an opportunity to work on me is. Well, was terrifying to start, but I would not have gone about this any differently.
Was it painful? No, it was painful.
Yeah. Yes.
I heard.
Yeah, there isn't really masking that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, and the result.
it was worth it, absolutely.
Can you walk?
I'm still in recovery. I can stand, and they take me out into the sun for a little while.
Don't want to go out there right now?
Is it okay?
I look around. Is there anyone in the room? Yeah. I pick her up.
You lift her up and head out the door. A number of people kind of see you, and they kind of... It's fine. They know who you are. You've been here so many times now. And they can clearly see she doesn't seem to be in danger. You head out into that massive training courtyard area. A sprawling view across this massive lake. It's nearing 12 o'clock at this point, so the light is reflecting and dancing across what wake exists within here.
Cool. Kind of. Is there a place to sit? Benches?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever?
Mhm.
Yeah, put her down. Look at the lake.
You see off to the right-hand side of this lake, there is one of those massive lunar pads with that giant bright purple flower on it. And you see a number of people who are sailing back and forth from that space. People are shipping equipment, and you actually see Ness and Ringwin in one of those boats heading off. They're preparing for something tonight.
It's Orwell's visual tonight. Did she ever meet Orwell? I think she probably met him.
Yeah, in passing.
Yeah.
I never really had a heart-to-heart, you could say, but...
Neither did I. He seemed like a nice kid.
He did, yes.
She tried to kill him.
Yeah, I was like,
That's right.
Which she doesn't recall!
who's gonna tell her? Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm not going to bring it up.
I look over there and Brittany's like,
Yeah, her memory's not exactly there when she's doing that.
whoops.
Wasn't I in prison with him when we first started?
We all were.
No, but I was specifically in the cell with him, I think.
Were you in some?
I believe I was.
You were, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I shared a cell
Yes,
with him.
because you were in with Dark.
For 5 seconds until we broke out. It was before I got to Voxstrom. It's not really
I never
relevant.
heard about any of that. I need to hear about that adventure at some point.
This is that story.
The story happens.
And that
hours later.
brings us to...
Well, that Lord Gesh sounds pleasant.
I never met him. He sounded awful, though.
I was being sarcastic, yes.
Yeah. Somehow I think he'll show up again.
What makes you think that?
Oh, I don't know. All the other 8,000 coincidences that have happened upon this party.
Maybe it's fate.
Yeah.
Maybe it's real.
Hey, what's your take on Kylus?
Kylish.
Yeah.
I don't think I really had a heart-to-heart with him either, but
You walked the city with him, didn't you?
we didn't really talk. I was still in a weird headspace at the time, but
So we met with the mayor of the city today and established a guild. And a lot of this was actually on his... he kind of helped set this all up. Then he didn't show up.
well, I honestly don't get him.
He gets... Frankly, he gets kind of shit on by the rest of the group. And I can kind of see why. But he has been around for all the fights.
I really have no opinion.
Yeah, I'm just kind of sounding board here.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
If I were to sum him up, he is a beautiful package, right?
Hey,
He presents himself well.
Sure.
that bag.
There is some sort of lock across this, and it is impossible to open, as far as any of us are aware.
Unless you're willing to go through 80,000 word games.
Or lockpicks.
Huh.
Try and fail, see which ones work.
Seems like a lot of work. fun talking about you while you're reading this.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to know what's in there. It may not be worth it.
Yeah.
But sometimes the curiosity is enough.
And he hasn't. I was gonna punch his face in, but then.
He has a punchable face.
Yeah, he does.
I thought it was a nice package.
But
A nice punchable package.
A punching.
You've never
bag.
punched a box really hard? It's
What's
awesome.
in here?
This is so excellently gifted.
Punchable face.
punchable face.
Right.
Right. Yeah, it's just after he cleaned your room.
Right.
Yeah. I imagine Renguin helped with that as well. It sounded like she was a part of it. I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
But I kind of changed my mind about punching his face, and I mean, I still kind of want to.
Right.
You've seen, yeah, you've seen.
It's like
Punchable face.
it's like wanting cake, but saying no, I shouldn't have cake. You still want the cake, but you're just making the right choice.
Man, fucking nailed it.
This is great.
Delicious cake that you just look at and don't eat.
I want to punch. Yeah. Well,
You're the display box.
imagine everyone's pretty pissed at him right now, or at least some of them are.
Well, to not show up to the meeting, I mean,
It's kind of a shit thing to do,
yes.
but it kind of went well without him, anyways. So I don't know how big of a deal it was that he wasn't there.
You're all capable on your own. I mean,
Seems that way.
to be present is one thing, but to drastically need someone in extreme cases, that's another.
But
You don't have to accomplish everything all together all the time.
but,
But
an
when you're
extreme-
facing a giant mechanical bull, yeah, it's important.
and he was there for that.
It was.
And he did fight those giant robots with us. He's kind of a shifty asshole. I don't know. I'm gonna go back and forth on that one.
Right. Maybe it's worth diving into if you want to keep him around.
Does he even want to be around?
Well, it's his choice.
Usually is. So, with the Big Yikes, it's a ridiculous name.
I didn't name it.
I don't know who did, but it was ridiculous.
Mhm.
Geyser Festival.
At the event, we learned that they have work for some of us. So
Okay.
we've decided for 3 of us to compete in the event and 3 of us to do some bodyguard work.
Huh?
I'm going to do the bodyguard work.
You are good at guarding.
I've heard that about me.
It was literally your job.
It was literally my job. I'm wondering who else do you think should be on that team? If you were going to pick a perfect roster, what would you pick?
Yeah, DM, what would counter your...
Shut the fuck up!
Diversity is important.
Of course.
I think it also depends on what the competition is like. You also want to make sure. I mean, I'm imagining you want to win.
Well, about that, we kind of need to, or at least get further than the Crimson Cogs
Oh, why?
because of this reason.
He really should have talked to people about that before.
Yeah.
Kind of. I
Yeah.
get the impulse and the desire,
Sure.
but
Nobody's gonna agree with you on that.
Like I was saying, big events, everyone should be there.
Yeah. 25K, I think it was. It's a lot.
Jeez.
Could buy a house in the city.
I don't know where we're going to get that money.
It depends on the event. I imagine it has something to do with the water.
Of course.
So it's Nessa's hometown. I feel like she should compete.
I think that makes sense.
But then at the same time, she also knows hiding spots within the city, spaces to sneak around. She's good in both scenarios.
Dominic, by the way, after that conversation, I'm not going to the library. I'm heading back to the temple.
Okay.
I guess it's going to be more up to what we decide. We got a few days before we figure that out.
If I were to go purely based off of diversity, I would say you, Frognand, and Kaius.
As guards?
Guards.
Or-
Kylus has range and mobility. You have power. Frognan has versatility. And restraining capabilities. If you want to keep someone in one spot, Frognan's the one to do that.
Actually makes the big yikes team that I was actually thinking of.
I only worry about the Big Yikes team having no magic abilities.
There's Nesta.
She's a healer, right?
I'm the protector.
I've seen her
I've
vaporize
also,
people.
Yeah, she did vaporize a dragon beast thing when we first got into the labs. Big old beam of moon.
She blasted the megalodon.
She's got power.
No, that's true.
She has choices.
Lunaris, baby.
What do you think of her god?
I mean, I don't know much about Lunaris except for we see her, allegedly, in the sky every evening.
Do you feel like she had a hand in your healing?
She had to. Without Rayla's magic, I'm not alive. We're not having this conversation. Do I believe in her? I would be a fool not to. We're seeing miracles. Do I have a personal attachment? Maybe a little bit more. But I don't know if I would just start serving. It's only been a couple days. It's a lot to think about. And I don't exactly have the most non-murderous intentions to my father, and I don't know if Lunaris would be entirely okay with that.
Yeah, but it's for like a really good reason.
It's a really good reason.
There's
Well, it's
exceptions.
perspective, and
Yeah.
there are a lot of goody two-shoes who
Demon
just
a
don't
holy
want,
mission.
who don't want murder, and I don't understand it. It is so near and dear to my heart.
That's why I love you.
Hmm.
So
She kind of kisses you on the cheek.
Oh.
Cute.
Murder.
It's very like Morticia Gomez, like.
I like that.
Yeah.
Need a mustache.
I've had it before.
I meant Paul.
I've had it before.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd love to see
I
it.
was Gomez for how long?
Alright,
years?
we'll shave it during the break.
Oh, you'd be a great cousin.
Oh, it was great. Got this great jacket for it. Anyways.
I think I need to go back inside.
Nope. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Take her there.
I don't have to use legs.
Well, for now.
For now.
You're recovering. You'll be on your feet.
I want to rest a bit. It would be nice if I would be allowed to go to All Will's vigil.
I will see if I can make that happen.
Okay.
I have a feeling I can.
Yeah, I just want to rest. I don't want to
Sure.
pass out in the middle of it.
That seems like a reasonable thing to want.
Yeah.
Weird.
Take her.
You usher her back to her room. Give her a sheet. She.
I am going to see how I can make myself useful around here.
I imagine checking in with Rayla. She seems to be running things here right now.
That is where I'm heading next.
Okay.
I'll see you in a bit.
She takes your hand and squeezes it.
I don't squeeze back because I don't want to hurt her. Well, slightly.
He only has one setting.
I just imagine it's the Mr.
Oh my God,
Darcy
I'm
walks away like flexing.
Your new hand.
Yes.
Thing,
I'm teaching that much of my students.
I can show you that later.
It's a great clip.
It's a great clip.
His fingers just fall off. He's like,
Pride and Prejudice.
Brittany will murder if you don't like the clip.
Yeah.
I hate it already.
We come back from the break and Paul's dead.
Didn't like Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Paul was held down and his beard was shaved.
Yeah. Honestly, we should do that anyways.
Sweeney Todd just.
Jesus Christ.
You said you did it before.
Do it again.
Dude, it's not like I'm being murdered, though. It's Sweeney Todd.
Your
anyways.
beard's being.
I'm gonna.
Meeting up with Rayla,
Life.
she immediately tasks you to moving heavy things.
Weird is life.
I help with
All right.
that.
Professor, as you. The gondola doors open and you step out. Looking out as the bustling venue is moving about, we will hop into our break before we jump in.
There it
Break
is.
time.
Yeah. Stick with us. We'll see you guys here shortly.
Woo!
Stay for a festival.
Yeah.
Make a festival.
Festivities.
Welcome back.
Hey.
It's always chaos
So-
after the break.
Bringing us back into
Like
the
we
want a
moment.
drink.
Eat a
You've
bunch of
already
sugar.
The professor is arriving at the Temple of the Prismatic Night as things are bustling and moving about in preparation for tonight's vigil and full moon ceremony.
That's the name.
Professor, you step off the gondola.
Step out.
People running about, milling about the space. Jars of honey being relocated to different spots, and scaffolding
These like
being
big
moved around.
jars.
Not really. They're carrying like multiples.
Okay.
There's a lot of people moving about. You haven't seen this many people at the temple before.
Every time I'm just really am curious about what all this honey is used for. I'm sure I'll find out. And I'll walk in. I'll try to find Wolfgang Nesta or Renwin.
Okay. I would say at this point, you probably see Wolfgang, who's currently lifting large scaffolding or pieces of wood that will be prepared for some scaffolding. And he's heading down this sidewalk, or like a descending staircase of platforms down the side of this cliff. This temple is located on like this raised island. And there's a walkway down the eastern side of this little island down to like dock areas that lead off.
Is it hot?
It's very hot. It's probably nearing 100 degrees,
Wolfgang's shirtless.
But not really.
but not really.
Yeah.
I have a
But
sweater
He's,
everywhere.
he's shirtless. He's shirtless. He's not sweaterless.
I always have a sweater on.
Always.
And just fucking pouring sweat.
Yeah.
But not making any word about it.
Mhm.
Does your chest hair straighten as it gets sweatier? Like just the weight
It
of the
just-
water?
It just darkens and sticks.
It's glistening. You can see the sweat droplets on it.
Okay, so it's like when mist condensates
Yes, exactly.
on it. Okay. Great. Thank you for
I walk
that.
away from Wolfgang.
Oh, he's singularly focused on moving these things.
Mhm.
So if you don't really call out to him, he's gonna.
No,
walk
I'll
right by
try
you.
and get his attention when I see him. Wolfgang.
Kind of stuff. Professor.
Yes. So you've put yourself to work.
Yeah. Figure I could help out around here somehow.
Good.
They always just make me lift things, but I kind of get why.
Yes, I can see that.
You can see what?
Why you're good at lifting things.
This
can
is so
flex.
erotic.
I hated that sound.
You're welcome.
You can flex if you want, Wolfgang. It's okay.
I'm not flexing at all.
As he's flexing.
I was waiting for like boom, 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 boom.
It's all me, baby.
Is that your chest or is that something in your hair, dude?
Oh, it's just like, where was I?
Right.
Sure is hot in these rhinos. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, when all of us are together, I would like to discuss that I have information on the big yikes, what the events are,
Oh, great.
what happens over 3 days, and, well, we can come up with what we can from there. I ran into Kylis.
No,
when I
how's
was
he
here.
doing?
He was assisting in some sort of theatrical water act with that dancer from the tavern.
Cool.
We had an exchange. I honestly don't know if he will be participating with us. He said that if it comes down to it, for us to have the guild, he will be our 6th person if it's necessary.
What kind of exchange did you have? A friendly one?
No, not a friendly one.
Hmm. Didn't go well, did it?
Well, he seems to be of his own mind, and while he...
As we all are.
Yes, well, he has raised points, and I wanted to amend myself of something that I have forgotten about for some time, given everything that happened in the whirlwind that was Voxstrom. I owe you something, and I will pull out 50 gold and hand it to you.
You don't owe me anything.
I do owe you this.
I have
I
plenty of
found-
money.
Yes, but when we didn't have money, I did, and there was not a suitable time that I found that we could attempt to split it without potentially getting jumped by a bunch of crazies in Voxstrom, and when there was a potential good time, I let it slip from my thought. Granted, that's when we found that your betrothed was somehow alive, so forgive me that there was a lot going on and I didn't remember this, but this is me making amends for a slight that I am responsible for.
At this point, Wolfgang has like put down the thing that he's holding. He kind of walks up to you, puts his hand on your shoulder. I don't care about this money. It's not a big deal. I hand it back to you. Let's not worry about that. There are bigger things happening. That 50 gold doesn't matter. Was this what you two had your lovers quarrel over?
It was a point of contrition brought up, where honestly I forgot that. Again, everything that happened, I forgot it even happened, but he did point out that I was able to buy myself some rather nice equipment. That came in rather use for our expedition in the ocean, but...
And he brought this up out of nowhere?
Yes, as I was bringing up his lack of wanting to be a part of this meeting that he helped set up, and I have some questions. Were you there when he proposed this and Nesta got angry?
Yeah.
She put a blade to his throat.
Oh yeah, she did. It was awesome. She was pissed. I mean, I don't blame her, but I don't think she was actually gonna like attack him. I think it was more of a show of anger.
I would assume so, at the very least, but...
I mean, if she was gonna attack him, she would slit his
Do you know
throat.
what her point of contrition derived from?
Why she got pissed?
Yes.
He made some deal with the.
I know about the deal, and quite frankly, I'm not a fan of it either. I would...
If it wins us 25,000 gold, I'm a big fan of it.
Or if it loses us 25,000 gold. One thing to remember is that we are a team of at maximum 6, meaning 2 teams. We have no idea how big the Crimson Cogs are and how many teams that they are entering. What if we have to beat 20 teams?
What the fuck? You just shrugged? You shrugged?
He's not there.
I'm not there!
And neither are you. Or are you?
I know, we're not.
Well, so here's the thing about that.
This teams obviously didn't do very well.
Based on what I saw when we met these people at the docks and how poorly they fared against something that we did very well against, like, it wasn't even a challenge for us. They lost like 3-4 guys out of that fight. I'm not terribly worried, to be honest. I have a feeling they're not the greatest at what they do. And
There's still sheer numbers to go against.
yeah, but we just need to win. That's not that hard, right?
If only.
Well,
Do you know how to sail a ship?
Oh, I'm not participating. I'm going to be
Right,
guarding.
you're going to take the guard. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll tell everyone else, but to sum it up, there is a brawl. You can either knock out your opponent or push them out of a ring.
Why'd you have to tell me that?
I know.
I know. Yeah, that's the. Even though that's day 2, that's the first thing he
You
brought.
really
up.
had to leave with
Brawl's
that.
It's day
day
one.
one.
Day
Oh,
one.
is it?
Yeah.
Brawl's day 1.
Well, I'm
There's
not.
Sailing
a
day
sailing
two.
race.
Okay.
And then there is a foot race. Obstacle course type thing.
Oh, okay.
A brawl, you say, huh?
Yes.
Well, shit.
Well, again, we'll discuss logistics once we're all together, and if hopefully Kailos decides to grace us with his presence.
Why do you say hopefully? Do you mean that?
As much as I am discontent with him right now, I would still rather us go through this together, in hoping that this could be something that we can make amends from and move on. At the very least, I've told him my feelings that, bottom line, he has to apologize to Nesta.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
Yes.
I don't think I told him he has to. I told him he should. I think he'll do it.
I certainly hope so.
He's a shithead, but He's smart enough. So you guys didn't fight?
Quarreled.
Verbally.
Going to blows or nothing, no.
Okay. Where's he now?
Who knows? I left. He's probably assisting his... his...
Oh, the underwater girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they're putting some performance together. They're trying to gain notoriety from the council.
Oh. Okay. Did you hate his guts or something?
I don't hate his guts, but
Is it just because he's a shifty little asshole?
frankly, yes.
Yeah. So's Frognand.
He's more
Adorable.
direct in his shiftiness.
He's
the very
still
least.
shifty. I mean, I think the biggest difference is Kylus kind of let you take one step forward and two steps back. Like he plays games with his words.
Exactly. And it's rather hard for someone like me who prefers being straightforward.
Yeah, I can see how that would really stick in your craw. It's a phrase down here, isn't it? Yeah,
It is
we'll go
now,
with that.
baby.
Like crawfish.
There's a water-based economy here. Yeah, there's
Lake. That's a
Fresh
lake.
water.
Yeah.
It's written down. It's part of it now.
It's into my notes.
Is there a
too.
crawfish boil? It's part of the...
Well, anyway, if there is one thing, though, it is that I do still recognize that I can admit when I have made a mistake and tried to make up for it. So again, I offer you this. Holding up the gold again.
No. I already told you no.
Okay, well,
I don't need it.
can't say that I didn't try to.
Are you trying for me or are you trying for you?
Trying for me.
Good.
And, well, 50 gold in your pocket wouldn't be...
I'm about to make 7,500 gold.
Fair enough.
Not
Just-
on top of whatever we make from beating the
Just-
shit out of these Crimson Cog assholes.
Just make sure that Kylus knows about it so that way you can split it evenly with him. He cares about that quite a lot.
I will be splitting it with whoever's on guard duty with me.
Hey, can someone help me move this?
Nesta pops up.
Perfect. I was going to go look for Nesta and Ring.
There you go.
Have you seen Frognand yet?
Nope. I was thinking away something.
Let me help you with that. And I'll run over and assist Nesta.
As you all begin to help prepare for this evening's ritual and vigil. Frognand, you are working diligently alongside Paula at the Henless Heritage.
Yeah, burning hella spell slots.
Hella spell slots, as many as possible.
Mhm.
We'll say, because you're not really like casting specific spells, we'll say however long you want to work for, a spell slot will equal the amount of hours worked. So if you burn a third level spell slot, that's 3 hours of time that you've worked, a second level 2, first
Nice.
level 1.
Until sunset. So
Until sunset. Yeah, you're looking at 8.5 hours.
okay, so yeah.
You don't have to work throughout that whole entire thing, but
No, I will. I'll burn.
Shouldn't we give you a lunch break? Sewer.
So I imagine I got a
Cola.
short rest before, probably, right?
he's not
So
part of a union.
Yeah.
Neither are we. It's illegal.
Let's support the strike.
I'm surprised he's not asking about labor laws. Child labor.
That's true, you have been.
I have. So I got a short rest before, probably, right? So I got my arcane recovery back.
Sure.
Okay, so in that case, I'll burn 2 second level.
Yeah, we'll say after 5 hours, if you ask for a break, she'll be like, "Oh my gosh, yes, I'm so sorry." Let you take one.
Perfect.
Whoops. Let
Um,
the gnome just keep working.
yeah. So I
That's what
burned
she does.
a third level, a second level, and 3 first level. That should equal 8, I believe.
Okay.
As we're working, just like meantime kind of conversation.
You do earn 16 gold as part of this.
No, not necessary. I have an alternate agenda.
I don't like when you say it like that.
I understand. I've been getting told recently that I don't say things at the right time or with the right inflection. It's something that I think I need to learn a little bit better. But regardless, what I want from you is knowledge. You're really cool. I like you a lot. I think I might want to become you when I grow up. But regardless, I really, yeah, I like the amount that you use your magic to help other people. Obviously, you run your store, and this is a capitalist society, and you know, there's no ethics in capitalism, and I get that. But you still happen to run your store with your morals, and I think that's really beautiful. Regardless, back to capitalism. We're gonna be entering the big yikes pretty soon, and I'm wondering, I know you have a lot of watery, cool things. Maybe I could work for you in return for some spell scrolls that could help me with more watery types of things, or things that could, like, you know, be a little naughty against other people's ships or something like that.
Let's see. What do I have here for you?
And if not today, it's okay. I'll come back tomorrow. I'll help you for the rest of this week.
I don't know if I have anything along those lines.
Okay, I'll come back tomorrow and we'll talk again.
Okay.
Yeah, but regardless,
I'll see if I can't make something as part of this work. I am splitting myself a little thin, but
no, totally good. And I'll be here to help you. I don't want you to split yourself thin. I want you to feel like you've been enhanced. I want you to feel like you have more hands than you need because of my help. As I like zap another like random spell scroll in the corner. So there's that. Other thing I really want to ask you about is healing's weird in this city, right?
yes, they have opinions on it.
I know you're not a healer, but you're the closest thing I know to my capability of healing, right? I want to ask you about transmutation.
All right.
And I'll show her my spell scroll of flesh to stone.
Her eyes get this very grave look across them.
Yeah. And similarly, I mean, this is... Frogman is deadly serious about this. I need to know about this.
Yes, I will say. I imagine you showed that to customs as part of this.
They know everything I have.
Do not show that to anyone else.
Okay. Why?
It's just dangerous.
I know.
It's life-ending, it's life-altering, it's...
I know firsthand.
Basilisk fangs. Okay, yes. Someone you loved.
How do I undo it?
As far as I'm aware, most petrification depends on what petrified them. Sometimes the rules are a little bit different. As far as I know, I have seen prisms from the temple reverse petrification. Usually magic within the circle of the fifth can undo something like this.
And these prisms can do that?
Yes, they've done it before.
Do I pay them? Do I indebt myself to them? What?
I'm not entirely certain. It's not something I've seen first-handed. It's not something we deal with often, though it has come through on very rare occasions. You would want to speak with probably Rayla.
Okay.
She's technically the strongest.
Can I show her this scroll, or is that also...
She's trusted.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Yes.
Pretty cool stuff that's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't need gold. Gold's cool, but I just want to help, and I just want to care for those around me.
I will see what else I'm able to create for you and what I can share.
Okay. Nice.
That book you carry,
Yes.
are there any special properties to it? Oh, I opened up something.
You want to see?
Sure.
Okay.
I was going to enchant it if you wanted me to.
I mean,
I was going to transfer an enchantment over to it.
yeah, do it,
Sure.
and then I'll show and tell.
+1 to spell attacks and saving throws.
It will take me a while to do this, but it's something that I could balance at the same time. I'm not recreating an enchantment. I'm simply transferring it from one thing to another. I'll turn your tome into an arcane grimoire.
That's amazing. Okay. So this takes time. I get it. I trust you. I can trust you, right?
Yes. Take it from me. I know how important this book is for you.
More than that. This is not just the source of my power. This is the memory of my love. And at that point, I will manifest mind.
Okay.
And I will, from my book, summon my sister.
Okay.
And so you see this beautiful, paramour of a
Scribe
deep
wizard.
gnome.
Mm-hmm.
That's projected out. And, it's not her, but it's my vision of her. And you see that she goes and bows and greets Paola.
Leather armor across her body, blade to her side, standing upright, even at the stature that she stands at. Nods to Paola, and we'll look back to you.
And I will cast Prestidigitation from her. And in a burst of smoke, she dissipates. Treat her well.
That is new and unusual and important. I will take good care of your sister.
I need to head off to the temple. I think there's some kind of ritual happening tonight.
There's a full moon event tonight, yes?
I'll be back in the morning.
All right.
Thank you, Paola.
Of course. Frognet. All right. Evening quickly approaches. Kailas, the question stands. Will you be attending?
I will.
Okay.
You're gonna be a real dick if you did this.
He'll probably show up like right as the sun goes down.
Okay.
Land on the balcony outside.
Okay. The day progresses. Things are gathered. And on the island where the Temple of the Prismatic Knight stands, a majority of people have gathered. And everyone is preparing for the sail out to the lunar pad. Eventually, unless you want to remain outside of sight.
No, he'll be like on the outskirts, but he'll still be there.
Okay. For those of you about, everyone here is currently present. Victoria is brought out. There is a prism who you met, Jorgen, who is assisting her.
Is this the one I almost fought?
Yes. Dark is also brought out here as well. Bandages across his eyes. He also has an assistant, though a fractal.
When Nesta comes out on the lily pad.
You're not at the lily pad yet.
Oh, we're not.
Yeah, you guys are all it's going to be a procession out to the lily pad.
Mhm.
You guys are all gathering at the outside up front of the temple.
Okay. When Nesta comes outside the temple, she's not wearing her armor anymore. She's going to be wearing a silk gown that kind of comes off the shoulders, and she has. It's a deep purple with stars all over the gown, and then she has like silvery star, like hairpins all throughout her hair.
Okay. Rayla is dressed relatively similarly to you, though she has displayed her holy symbol, representing the 3 different colorations of the moon, the central color, her birth month, the one before and the one after as well. I would like to change to this.
Really quick, Dominic.
Mhm.
In the time spent helping get ready with stuff, and when Frogman arrives, I would have offered Nesta, Rangwin, and Frogman the 50 gold.
Okay.
That I feel I owe them.
For anyone who wishes to take it, I'm
Thanks.
gonna note it just down here.
And
and then I can
essentially
ask-
having the same conversation that I had with Wolfgang.
And I'll reject it, saying, no. This elven chain, I don't know if this whole party's bad at math or something, but it's worth so much more than you made me give up for it. Keep it.
I would have taken it,
Keegan's
but
still
then,
so
then
bad.
I would have taken it, but donated it back to the temple. And thank you. I'll donate it in Olwell's cause.
You all gather. Lanterns are lit. Everyone being offered lanterns should you want to take them with different colored papers across them. So there's the representation of every single phase and coloration of Lunars's years. Multiple people start lighting them up, and a procession walks out down.
I'll take a dark blue.
Okay.
Is he around? And do I see you?
Unless you're hiding.
I'm not
out.
hiding, no.
Yeah.
I'm just
You see him.
On
He's
the
off in the
outskirts.
distance.
I'm gonna go towards him. Kind of tell Victoria I'll catch up. Kind of go up to you.
Wolfie.
Guy. How's it going, pal?
It's alright. Had a little talk with the professor earlier.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Doesn't seem too happy with me.
Yeah, that's what I gathered.
Called me selfish. I told him he was selfish as well. Brought up a point.
Skirting over that, I also brought up points, but
So, I mean, I've heard your side, now I'm hearing his side.
I don't
Yeah.
remember any specific points of me being selfish.
Yeah. So, yeah, you happy with that conversation?
As happy as I can be. I mean, it's not my intention, but he's been kind of a shithead to me. Despite us having a conversation, nothing's really changed. So he seems to like that summer form of his and throw in tantrums at minor inconveniences.
I've been in autumn for the last
Oh,
yeah. Since we got back to Limits, I've been in autumn.
I'll say, yeah, I mean, that's valid. I mean, you do a pretty damn good job of being cagey about everything. And you know how much this guy likes to know things.
I offered him up all the information he might want.
Sure. How straightforward were you? Did you make him jump through hoops?
No, I answered his questions. Whether or not he believed it, I mean, that's up to him.
That's a good point.
What's on your mind?
You sticking around?
I'm not sure.
Mm.
I'm gonna talk to Ness. And
You
we'll
haven't,
see.
you haven't talked to her yet?
Not yet. It didn't
No,
seem.
We had that conversation yesterday. They haven't had that much of an opportunity. Time's weird. I get it.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt Olwell's day.
Yeah, this is probably a conversation best saved for tomorrow. Or whatever day that we're not mourning her dead friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't my intention with the bet. I just saw an opportunity, and I wanted to take it.
Well, it was stupid, but I feel pretty good about it.
I do too.
I just think it's the risk that's pissing her off. Which, frankly, I mean, if we were in my hometown, I probably would have punched your face in.
It's fair. Look, I understand that we're risking our reputation quite a bit.
What
Oh,
reputation?
Exactly. We're willing to risk our lives for a few hundred gold down under a lake, but we're not willing to risk our pride for 25,000 gold. A chance to set up roots, fund any trip in the future. I don't know.
I mean, your point is well taken. I mean, yeah, we risked our lives. Professor almost got his face eaten by a giant fucking shark. And, you know, how much did we get for that? A couple grand? And this is less chance of horrible death for a much bigger payout. I get all that. You're part of a team. Sometimes you got to include your team. And I get it. The situation was there. You had the opportunity to make this call, and you did. I've done things like that. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes a whole bunch of people die. You got to make the right call.
And I thought I have made the right call with all of you so far.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this specific deal.
Yeah, but I think if someone else made this deal, everyone else would have been willing to at least hear it out. But because it was me, no one wanted to.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So, are you interested in changing their minds about you?
I don't know how I'd do that. People don't seem to see what I've contributed so far.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, it's not like you were the only one left standing after Bull got taken down.
Yeah, I picked Nest up off the floor so she could save the rest of you.
Yeah, I was being facetious. I know you were.
Yeah. And... yeah, never mind.
And?
Do you realize that Victoria wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me?
Yeah.
Just never cared to mention it or thank me for it?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know I have no problem with you. I was actually going to strangle you until I realized you did us a solid and cleaned up the murder. Cleaned up her room.
Oh, that was...
After we murdered that fish, right?
That fish.
Yeah.
The Goliath fish we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you cleaned up after that, that was a big deal. You know, you're a slippery guy. You always have an answer and you always have a response. But I see what you do. And from everything I can tell, despite being a slippery shithead, you mean well. You do mean well, right?
I do. At least when it comes to all of you.
All right. Glad you came. Let's go get this started.
All right.
He hands you a bottle.
This has been a bit of a walk and talk. It's been it's a slow procession.
Yeah.
People aren't rushing to this event. It is about taking your time. It is about reflection. It is about thinking about what memories you do hold of this individual. You guys have an opportunity to chat calmly, quietly. Get on the boat.
I still have my bottle that I, for whatever reason, always have.
We'll slide a hand.
Okay.
And you can't drink in the church?
Can I assist?
Would you not stare at someone who's drinking at a funeral?
I would so understand though.
Sure.
We fought alongside him, damn it.
9.
You made us spit out this drink.
Almost.
That's a page handed out.
The procession continues.
Move right past that.
Doesn't mean anyone's going to confront you right
Yeah,
now.
they fucking better not. Fucking dare them.
It's a banishment.
Doesn't work on me. I'm immune to banishment.
If there's an opportunity, I will sail the ship that we're on out there.
No sails attached to this.
Okay.
It's purely rowing.
Never mind.
Well, I will row.
Okay.
What's the person that calls out the rhythm when they row? What are they called?
That guy.
Yeah. The little
Stroke.
The one that's always the tiny one that weighs 80 pounds.
There isn't really like, again, there's not like a rush here, so it's just keeping up with anyone else and this is a long procession. There's a lot of people gathered here, up towards the very front. I imagine you as well, along with Rayla. Off in another boat to the other side is Olwell's parents, who are present as well.
Parents, oh shit.
Sailing forward, you all eventually gather at this massive lunar pad. The bits of vegetation that grow off of this, buoyant and floating on the lake, you have an opportunity to stretch out, and there's a makeshift scaffolding that has been built up.
Pyre up there or something?
There's no pyre,
Okay.
but it is a raised platform that Rayla will walk up to, and she'll stand there present, waiting for everyone to settle.
Are we all just floating in boats around this pillar?
No, again,
okay.
the lily pad itself, it's almost like a lily pad, but it's closer to that of like the flower shape of a lotus.
Okay.
And it is massive. I mean, it's probably from one end to the other close to 1,000 feet, and then extending upwards maybe 120 feet up. And it is glowing in this space, and bits of light are flaking off up into the sky where the massive red Dragonwrath moon is glowing down on you all. It's a nice warm evening, which is a welcome relief from the heat of the sun.
Is your shirt back on yet?
I'm fully decked out.
Okay.
Fully armored.
Rayla stands up, and as things begin to calm down, everyone has their lanterns. And she... It is a warming sight to see this many people present. Olwell was very young, and he dedicated much of his time and efforts to the temple. And while he was not much of a fighter, he embodied what the Dragonwrath moon represents: perseverance and ambition. To try and to fail and to get back up again. Not many could do what he does, and plenty have tried and fallen short. This evening is to honor the passing of a soul into the embrace of one who has watched over him from birth. To be one more star amongst a shining sky. Nesta, is there anything you would like to say?
I'll address his parents. And I want you to know that your son fought bravely to the end, and his last thoughts were of you.
They stand solemnly staring at you. I would like a persuasion check.
Twelve.
His mother kind of glances away, but his father keeps eyes locked with you and nods. Rayla stands back up. To have all these lights present, it is a reflection of what we see when we look up. And as night comes, so too does dawn. If you will all blow out your candles.
Before I blow out my candle, I actually have a question,
Mhm.
because technically I was present when they took him away and he was killed.
Mm-hmm.
Did he say anything when he was leaving or when we were captured? Did he say anything? And then was it kind of known that that's what he was being taken in? Because I'm just trying to see how he was when we were captured together.
Right. his primary focus and his last wish to you, he simply said, do not let her falter. I rolled an 18 on his insight check to see if he was aware of what was happening to him, where he was being taken, and what their intent was. He knew where he was going. He knew how this was ending.
Wherever I'm at, I'm gonna glance over at Nesta and then blow out my candle.
A moment of silence within the darkness. The glow of the Dragonwrath moon illuminating the space, and the glow of the lunar pad. Eventually, time is spent, and as individuals choose, they board back into boats and begin to head back. Those who wish to stay for the full moon ritual can. A majority of the people present do head back. It's mainly major fractals and prisms stay.
I'll stay.
Before everyone officially leaves, Sorden, which is Olvel's father, comes up to you and puts his hand out.
I take it.
And he pulls you close. You carry on his legacy. In your actions and in your words.
Always.
And he leaves. And the full moon ritual, for those who wish to stay, begins.
Can I look around at the group and kind of just gauge everyone's reaction with my presence there?
Everyone here,
Yes.
roll an insight check.
4.
Kaios, I don't think you've been to many of these.
Nope.
And you can let that affect you as it will. Distraction, emotion, whatever it might be.
You would see that I'm actively looking at you as the vigil ends.
I'm in my own world.
Yeah. Mm.
Also in my own space.
I'm chilling.
As the vigil ends, though, I would start to look for my party.
Everyone is present.
I would kind of walk around if they're willing to gather and invite them to come if they want. No pressure because it's weird.
Yeah.
Rayla did specify with you. This ritual in particular will be quieter. It will be more solemn. It will be in reflection, regardless of what tradition dictates.
Do you go up to Kailos? Just curious. Okay. He won't say anything, but he'll just walk in and join.
If you would like to take the ritual.
All right. Fuck me.
It was a heavy moment.
I
It
know.
really was.
Didn't
Yeah.
expect that.
Really good
Shit.
speech, by the way.
Yeah,
Really fucking
excellent.
good.
Fuck. All right.
Balls.
That means balls.
Dicks. Funny things.
Shenanigans!
This is Dungeons and Dragons.
Sweater shirts.
Don't talk about my sweater shirt.
I always expected this ceremony to be more lighthearted than this.
so sorry about the emotions. I'll take out we'll go to a lily pond that's private.
Mhm.
And I'll hold up the jar and I'll say, God damn it.
This is a
God's plural.
God's damn it. All right.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, gang. All right. Ah!
In this moment, Nesta, as you're being washed over with all this, you feel on your shoulder something grip you. And as you reach over, fingers laced with yours, no one here sees anyone, but you feel this.
I just made that worse.
All right. I'll take out the honey jar.
Okay.
I'll take out a little bit of lavender and some water. And I mix them together in a bowl. Who decided to have a moon ritual after a funeral? That was dumb.
Maybe something good after something tough.
Yeah. All right. Honey symbolizes sweetness, truth, knowledge, and pleasure. It's a gift from the divine. I'll hold up the lavender. Lavender is for purity, devotion, serenity, and calmness. I'll mix them together. And then around everyone's forehead, I create a line with the mixture. This next part, normally we do naked. But, okay.
So I start taking off my armor.
Right.
All right.
See smoothness.
Right.
He is Ken.
It immediately goes.
The humidity in the air.
It's like hydrophobic.
Oh my god.
I feel like I'm the only one who's just like,
You don't have to, it's
Cousin
fine.
Nick.
No. Alright, anyone who's comfortable with it can strip, whatever.
I'm halfway there.
Great.
Fuck it.
I lay on the lily pad and I say, gentle orb of abundance, whose force does balance plains, reveal to me that I may see my gifts to feel all pains. To heal all pains. Did I say feel all pains? I don't want that.
See.
Shit.
That's some Freudian ass shit.
Well, I think that was very honest.
Anyway, I just kind of flop down on the lily pad and just lay there and let the moon bask over me. And I kind of fall into a trance.
Kind of looking.
Fall back to
Mhm.
butt
Lay
naked
down.
on the lily pad.
Moonbathing, baby.
You all spend your time bathing in the light of the moon, letting what visions come, what thoughts transpire.
Oh.
Oh my god.
You hear a
Sorry.
whisper in your ear, Nesta. I'm so proud of you.
Ugh. And I cry even harder. Okay.
Finishing this ritual, Nesta, as a follower, until the start of the new moon, you have a +1 to your AC in all saving throws.
Fuck yeah. Thanks, Linaris.
And you can also alter those in D&D Beyond as well.
That's awesome.
So until the first of the next moon, you have this blessing.
Hell yeah.
It's a rare magic item right there.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Dope.
All right. As it feels the ceremony has come to an end,
On average, people usually tend to sit in this moment for about an hour or so.
Yeah. I pull my dress back up, and it doesn't feel like it's like people are just stripping to be nude. It feels healing and, private.
Ceremonial.
Yeah, ceremonial. I'd sit up and kind of just wait for my friends to finish their rituals as well.
I've been sitting just like cross-legged, my eyes closed in the light. Eventually I'll stand up and approach Nesta.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Of course. I was... He was with us through all of that, and I saw him at the end.
Thank you for saying that.
I want you to know that through it all, and he knew what was going to happen to him. And his faith and resolve, I think, not only in his order and his goddess, but his faith and resolve in you never waned.
Wow, thank you. Bastard.
He told me to make sure that you never falter.
Oh.
I, personally, don't think you need much of my help. But I'll be here if you do.
Thank you. I'd shake his hand. Kind of take a few steps away and collect myself. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I know we've had a rough couple of days, and your support here tonight means the world to me.
Still like laying down, Wolfgang just goes, that's what friends do. Support each other.
Thank you. We find prestidigitation helps with the honey on the face.
Can I just eat it?
Of course. It's honey.
Lavender honey.
It is lavender honey.
Good.
Kyle just gives you a nod as he's stepping onto a ship and removes the honey.
I'd not back.
Obviously, this is not the apt time. I have information on the workings of the Geyser Festival. We can discuss our plans tomorrow. But tonight...
I'm glad you found that out.
Tonight we think of Orwell and...
Well, this festival is normally a lot more fun than this, and I think Orwell would be happy if we ended the night in higher spirits than we started. That's what he really would have wanted. We used to end this ritual with whiskey and song.
That Wolfgang kind of leans over and goes, hey!
So you're saying that Orwell always ended the ritual flat on his face?
More flat on his back.
Every time I saw him drinking, he was passed out.
He did not hold it well, that's fair.
I'll step off the ship. Did somebody say song? I could play something.
Enhance ability.
Alright, Kylis. Let's hear it.
Charisma. by the way.
Just to his intelligence.
Strength.
Taking a big swig of that. Thank you.
Wolfgang's still laying down, naked,
Yep.
looking out. Is everyone else up and clothed and doing their thing now?
I am.
Fucking
I never
nerds.
took clothes off, so
Nerds.
Us never got fully dressed.
I felt awkward that no one else looked like me down there.
I love this like banana slug thing that's going on for Rockman. Just alternating between him and everyone.
I almost took a sip at the wrong moment there.
I think I also play a song that starts out maybe a little more calm and solemn, but as it continues, it gets a little more jovial, faster paced, and just a little more fun in general.
You play Freebird?
Damn.
No.
I think I fucking nailed it. It is Freebird.
5 minutes in.
The flute version of
That was incredible.
I was gonna go for it, but no.
I felt
It kind of makes sense.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ernest.
As
If you want
oh
to-
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Let's see how good you do.
With advantage.
Yeah, that's true.
Natural 20.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
What's the
It's the
total?
best thing we've ever heard.
It doesn't add anything else, right?
I just give you advantage.
It's just
on all
advantage.
of
Performance
you.
27.
27. Nicely done. Yeah, I mean it's a great rendition of Freebird.
Wow. We're trendsetting. Because the lily pad lifts them like a foot off the water.
It just starts flying.
We are the bird!
The stars are rushing past us, and we're all crying, and our hair is flying. And
Cut to like an hour ago you took mushrooms.
Lunaris is still behind me, like just jamming. Like, oh my god.
I did take mushrooms an hour
Wow.
ago.
Really happy with that natural 20.
Yeah,
What
that was awesome.
timing?
That was incredible.
As the ritual and ceremony and vigil comes to an end, we will wrap up tonight's session there.
With me naked on a lily pad.
And Freebird.
3 eyes
Bird,
looking
yeah.
at the...
What a visual.
I can't see anything in all the hair.
You want to know?
what's that? Is that like a piece of mold on the lily pad? Or?
He's just a Furby.
Yeah, he just needs a less restoration, cure that disease.
That's what
no
trips
disease
over
here,
him.
pal.
Fuck.
Well, I was not. I was kind of expecting to go down that path. But
You can blame your
that
own
was-
speech. Like, goddamn.
I know. With the music and
Yeah.
everything,
Mhm.
dude.
But that song specifically is called Aftermath.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's fitting.
Sure was.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're
Well,
on all the socials. Follow us on
Yeah, yeah.
Twilight
Threads,
Chronicles.
TikTok,
Check us out.
Facebook.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. As
Watch
always.
us be
Shenanigans.
sad.
Be sad.
We'll see you guys again. Thank you so much.
See you next
Sad
week.
Nanigans?
Yeah.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
The
Nice.
Danigans.
Yeah.